Let me scroll to the bottom. Thank you. Okay. Welcome back. You guys have found yourselves in, man, what do we even call it? I guess a manhunt is the best way to describe it. A multi-faction manhunt. Captain Ed Yord, your brother, has got himself into some deep shit, it sounds like. Upon stepping off the ship, having recovered from your space fatigue, uh, you found that your brother has quite a bounty on his head. The Lumina Collective wants him delivered alive for 10,000 gold pieces, no small amount of change. These were Vanguard, have closed up all the ports. A number of pirates, the Swords of the Broken Moon, I believe it is, the Blades of the Broken Moon, have, uh, they're wheeling, dealing behind the scenes, and clearly the missing mind flayers are on their case as well, as you guys managed to find your way into this warehouse just infected with illithid, and you slew intellect devourers, you slew their mind controlled slaves, and you also managed to defeat one mind flayer while the other vanished and disappeared away. Um, Fantastic. So that is where we pick up today. You guys have just infiltrated the warehouse. You have defeated the illithid before you. Now it's time to figure out what the hell is going on around here. So what would you like to do? I think you would hear in that uh, main hallway where you wall of fire and wall of death to wall of whatever else in there. You hear some like, "Oi! If there's anyone out there, what's going on?" You hear from inside the room.
Yeah, Randall will go in and have a look.
All right, and he would follow. Hears it coming from the top. You see this, the head of this dwarf pop over. He's got like very small little golden, sort of through his long beard. He looks disheveled and like he's had a bad day. His nose is broken, and he's clearly tied up as he kind of throws his like shoulders to the side of the thing to be able to like get a look over. One of his eyes is almost swollen purple. And he goes, "I hope you're not. I hope you're not one of those. Is your brain still in your head?"
Uh, I hope so. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here killing the rest of them, would we?
Right. Do you mind letting me free?
Okay. And I'm taking it your brain is your own?
Yep, my brain is my own. Otherwise, I don't know why they would have tied me up.
Okay. Then I'll go up and untie him, break his chains.
You go up and untie him. You'll notice beside him is this uh, very clearly wearing like the garb of the Lumina Collective. Similarly, a little beaten up, is also tied up. And we'll say, uh, "You mind?" And he'll kind of put his hands out that are tied up as well. They're much appreciated.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do the same, and then I will check to see how injured they are, see if they need a bit of healing as well, and I'll help out with that.
Okay, make a medicine check to see how beaten up they are.
12.
12. Maybe a broken rib here and there, but at worst, they'll live. They're fine. They can walk and talk and breathe and all that. They're gonna be okay.
Okay.
They need some rest though.
That's fine. All right, then I'll leave them if they're not that bad.
Yeah. They're a couple hit points down, but they'll be okay. Nothing too grand. They both stand up and say their gracious thank you. Um,
Yeah, I'll introduce myself, and my name is Arundel. I'm part of a crew that's been tasked to find someone.
Oh yeah, you and everyone else in the city. Yeah. He kind of like looks around nervously, and the scholar kind of looks at him with like the dwarf with a bit of like a um. There's a look. There's some weird energy there. Ed, yeah, go ahead.
We can all hear this, right? And like walk in.
Yeah.
Have a walk in and be like, yeah, there seems to be a lot of interest in areas like this. I'm Captain Ed Yord here, my talkative friend here and quite friendly fella is Arundel, which thank you, Arundel. I appreciate you untying these strange gentlemen. And
So as you walk in, Ed, the dwarf's eyes go like wide, and his eyebrows like hit the top of his head, just in like stunned to see you. Um, and then he goes, "Yord, you're Ed Yord."
yeah, it's not, but before you come out of your pants, I'm not the one you're looking for. But if you know about the one I'm looking for, you can make all of our lives here a lot easier, friend.
Uh, the scholar kind of like looks at the dwarf, and he's kind of like says something under his breath to him. And the dwarf, I want you to make me just like a flat charisma check, Ed. I'll give you advantage on it.
That is a 13.
13. Um, he says, he looks at you kind of like almost like wildly in his eye. He goes, "Get me away from this scholar. I know your brother. I'm his friend." And the scholar's like, "Oh," and kind of like rubs his temples.
Can I recognize that? Does he have any like insignias that match the blue crested lady or anything? Because that's the same faction, right?
He's from the
Yeah.
Lumina Collective. He's from like oh, you've been away for a lot of this. He looks like one of the guys who like nailed up that bounty.
Yeah. And the lady that we made a deal with last session.
No,
Um,
no, no. It doesn't look like the Lumina Collective and the Azure Vanguard are two different
okay.
factions.
All right, that's it.
Yeah, yeah. So no, it looks like he's from the collective that has put up a bounty for your brother, not the guard.
Everyone will poke his head and go like, "I'm sorry, did I hear you were friends with the captain's brother? That's perfect."
The scholar will say, "If I might introduce myself very quickly, I'm Evios of the Lumina Collective. I've heard that you've all had dealings with the Lumina Collective. Good to good to meet you all. Yes, this is my acquaintance." And he says, "I don't want to go to your stupid guild of talkers and thinkers. Just, I just want to get off the planet for fuck's sake." And he goes, "Don't be that way, Boldic." And he says, "I'm trying to bring Boldic to the Lumina Collective. In truth, I am, of course, looking for our, Yvonne Yord. And this young dwarf could perhaps help. So I was trying to get him back to the Lumina Collective when we were jumped by those mind flares, and if you had just done what I said, we wouldn't have gotten mixed up in all of this." And the dwarf says, "Please get me off away from him. If you're his brother, I, I just want to get off this planet. Yvonne's caused me enough trouble."
Okay, so I'll just look at the Avon or Evios. Sorry, Evios.
Yeah.
And just say, seems like Baldic here doesn't want to be with you anymore. So, as the way is clear there, you may go and he can stay.
Making an intimidation check.
16.
16. Good. He goes, I'm not trying to. Oh, very well. Yes, but if you change
No,
your mind, yep.
hang on just a second. And Ed looks at Arendelle like, back the fuck up real quick. Uh, I want to know anyone who can help me with my brother. Anyone. So both of you seem to have your own separate ideas that kind of intertwine. So let's say instead of taking him to this collective, you're gonna keep him right here. What can this dwarf do to you to help you find my brother? And then, dwarf, you can tell me how you know my brother. Then we can see about who's gonna leave and who's not. And Ed's looking at Arendelle again, like, chill.
And I will just turn and walk away.
Uh, the dwarf looks like a little like, ugh, like a little like upset, maybe anxious by this. As he thought he got his door out, or he got his way out with Rendil, but apparently not. The scholar looks a little happier, given some foot to stand on again. He goes, "Yes, allow me to reintroduce myself and my companion here." And he goes, the dwarf goes, "I'm not your fucking companion." And he goes, the scholar says, "I am Evios of Lumina, and my faction has been deeply wishing to speak with presumably your brother, Von Yord. This is Boldick Thundersky, who is a close associate with your brother during during his creation of his most recent technologies." And the dwarf sort of like really looks annoyed at that being mentioned, like being outed for that. And he's like, "Oh." And he goes, "I was trying to escort him to the Lumina Collective for safety, as clearly he needs it. He insisted on running away and getting himself caught up with these mind flayers and getting me caught up with these mind flayers."
Now Ed's just gonna look at like the dwarf, sort of like, all right, well, give me your take.
That's my take. I just want to be left the fuck alone.
Doesn't really help me with my brother now, but you seem to know him and following his story, that kind of certain you do know him, give or take.
He goes, "I've done enough for your brother. And if anything, it's you who owes me by association. So why don't we start even in the split by getting me away from this lunatic and letting me get the fuck out of here?"
Now that does sound like someone who's dealt with Avant. Hmm.
Etherith will kind of like saunter over. That's a lot of yapping for someone whose life you've just saved. I think the score's already quite even, don't you think?
No, they're both thinking the same thing. Those are what, two mind flares we helped you all with, and very quick to make demands here, which again, I know my brother, and I know the kind of headaches he gives, so.
He goes, "Oh, great. You're right. You saved me from one of the 50 factions on this planet that are looking for him and are, by extension, looking for me. Thanks a lot. Take care of 4 more of them and maybe we'll call it fucking even. Just let me the fuck go."
Well, I need to answer this. Do you know where he is?
"No, I don't know where he is."
Do you? And,
Can I roll it? I know he's not very frustrated. Can I roll insight on that? Does he have no idea, or does it seem like he just has like some idea?
Roll me an insight.
Yeah, that's not great. 12.
12. You believe him, poor guy. He got wrapped up in this.
16 plus 1 for 17. It's
17. He looks desperate to get out of here. You don't think he might not know anything.
no, I'm pretty sure he was disabused about my brother for something. And is exactly working on his plan. Not my son.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ed. You can make this check at advantage because you know your brother. If you want to roll again, see if you get higher.
Nah, the 7.
7.
160, the
Yeah.
highest I'm
He
gonna
he looks desperate to get out of here, and he looks like he's been brought way in over his head. Like you think that he probably doesn't know anything.
I think I just looked to the captain. What do you think? Just wrong place, wrong time, or what?
No, that's a coincidence, and I've stopped believing in those. Your fault, partially, but I'll tell you that later. My
Understandable.
question is, the collector, how much trouble has this dwarf been for you and your group? And how much trouble would not bringing him back be for you?
How much trouble has your brother brought me? Is that
No, this dwarf. But we can get to my brother after. How much trouble has this dwarf brought you to the collective guy?
Oh, you're talking to the Lumina guy. He goes, well, a tad more than I would have liked. If it was up to me, I wouldn't have been tied up and beaten up by mind flayers. A word of warning: it seems that they've been, uh, shall we say, enslaving mercenaries who are out looking for what it sounds like is your brother. We put a bounty out, so there's mercenaries of all kinds out looking, and I think some of them have been, well, taken over by mind flayer influence out there. That's what those 4 poor souls were. And he points over to the 4 rather easy to defeat bandit looking individuals who had the intellect devourers in them. So I think that's how those were, probably seeking the bandit on behalf, or the bounty on behalf of the Lumina Collective.
I take it you're after the captain's brother just for the technology, yes?
The Lumina Collective would be very interested, and if uh, he seems like a very knowledgeable fellow. If you want to stay with the Lumina Collective, I'm sure we could offer him protection. As the dwarf sort of says, bah! You'll hear sort of her head just like slightly creeping over your shoulders, Ethrithoned, and says, the dwarf is lying. I can hear his thoughts. He just wants to get out of here.
Wait, lying isn't he knows where he is?
He knows more than he's letting
I
Does
thought
he have
like
any like gear? The dwarf on him? Does he have any gear visually on him?
He's just like wearing like common clothes. He doesn't know specialty gear of any kind.
Well, we're gonna keep the dwarf, friend. And as far as your collective goes, can we do maybe a favor for a favor? You all do have a bounty, and well, it's tell you what, if you let us keep this dwarf here for a little bit, we'll make sure when it comes to claim this bounty, we'll remember this favor.
Because if you insist, I could also suggest that we all just return to the Lumina Collective, safe grounds to perhaps talk to our associate here. Lumina Collective learns something, you learn something. Everybody's happy.
I'm afraid this situation calls for some degree of haste. As we all know, there's many, many factions vying for claim over the captain's brother. And in that vein, Ethereth will kind of like square up to the dwarf.
Okay, you square up to the dwarf, who look like kind of recedes a little bit. He doesn't seem too brave.
Just particularly uses like the hand with the hellhound cloak, just sticks it on his shoulder. You're not holding out on us, are you? You're not so desperate to leave that you just withhold vital information, would you, dwarf?
I no. He goes, sorry, I'm stuttering way too much. He says, I don't know anything. Let me the fuck go. And you hear Vivara's words in your head. She goes, now he knows something. And but you're like, whoever you decide to believe, like the dwarf is very convincing.
I'm more inclined to believe Vivara. So I kind of just like squeeze his shoulder a little bit. Not a single thing. Are you certain that you know nothing, dwarf? Your life
No.
might depend on it.
Make an intimidation check.
Yeah. 23.
He's sort of, yeah, you find his crux is his potential, like, I don't want to say cowardice. He's been through a lot and you're very scary, but certainly it doesn't, his courage doesn't seem to be a strong suit. And he kind of like, I, oh, just, I, oh man, just let me go, please. I don't want anything to do with any of this.
We'll keep you safe if you help us. Help us find out my brother. I promise you, no one's gonna lay a finger on.
He goes, that's what he said, and points at the collective guy. And he goes, and I told you not to go running off, but you did.
And in our defense, we did sort of save your life here. So,
I didn't ask. It's just fine, fine. Let's just go somewhere where more mind players are probably going to show up any minute.
all right. And just for safekeeping, I want you to stay very close to my friend at the rift there. Okay?
I don't want to stay close to him. Look at his arm. It's like he stuck his fist down the mouth of some black hellhound.
Now, come on, Baldic. We'll get you some food too. Now, relax. But yeah, till further notice, you're with us. Welcome to the Prophets Demise. What else?
The fucking what? He just sort of, yeah, you can tell he's like a very anxious, kind of freaked out dude, whether that's his entire personality or not. He kind of like starts stomping out of the room, sort of grumbling to himself, anxiously about his lot in life. Evios of Lumina sort of sighs. It goes, well, if you change your mind, the Lumina Collective stands ready to, oh, you know the rest. And he kind of meanders out of the warehouse with a little bit of a limp.
That'll politely let him by. Hey.
All right, where are you taking the pesky dwarf?
I'm trying to think, do I have anything that'll make this easier? Well, let's at least get somewhere secluded, I suppose, and away from the mind flayer's reach. Come along, dwarf.
The dwarf sort of crumbles and follows. Navarre says, if you allowed it, I could slither into his mind. Save us some time.
Do I hear that?
I think that's to Etherith.
Okay.
It might be, I may take you up on that, but for now, let's just get out of the immediate vicinity. I'd rather not be interrupted by Illithid.
I will be sure to save the spell slot. And yeah,
Spell
you guys spell what? Never mind. That's a very funny sorcerer joke. I think that's a very funny. You guys all wander up. So where are you taking your new friend Boldic? Boldic Thundersky.
Yeah, where have you guys all set up since while I was down? I imagine you found some sort of base of operations here.
I mean, there is the tavern we semi-burned down.
Tavern you burned down. That's the base of operations.
We haven't really. We spent the night with the cult of Hecate, so I don't want to bring him back there. They'll tear him apart.
Navarre says, I will tear his mind apart. Very different.
So let's just take him somewhere at least quiet, some alley, ask what we need to ask, and then just cut him loose.
Not a lot easier, but let's try it. Yeah. And like I said, it's never been above my brother to use people, so yeah.
So you're just gonna find a alley some
Yeah.
ways off. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Why don't you make a? This is cities. This is let's go survival. Make me an investigation check to like somebody whoever wants to take the lead. Make me an investigation check to find a discreet alley or
Might
stealth
def-
check. Fuck it. Investigation or stealth.
I'll defer to one of the others because I'm like holding onto the pseudo hostage.
Fair enough.
Yeah, whoever's scouting ahead for us, which I believe that was Aaron dog. Leading in here.
Oh, I'm sorry, Captain. Would you like my help now? Okay. And
Oh,
I'll just walk ahead and have a look around. Investigation or stealth, did you say?
Yes, your choice.
Yeah. 9.
A 9. Yeah, this you get off the main sort of neighborhood that has kind of gone desolate, and you find like the nearest back alley after that.
I just point down to the alley and I'll stand at the end of the top of the alley, just keeping watch while they do whatever they're gonna do.
All right. Baldic is taken down the alley, presumably with Ephrith and Ed.
Cool. Okay. What was his name again? Baldic. You can either tell us what you know, or we'll forcefully get it out of you. And kind of look back at Vivara. I'm not sure you want that.
look,
Varus says, "I,"
that's a
and
very
the dwarf kind of
intense,
shivers.
very intense and semi-accurate way to put it. But look, we are one of the only crews that are able to get in and out of here through the port. We've got our crew right now transferring back and forth, and we can get you out even to within tonight. But you've got to give us something real. Believe me, there's no one that wants to find Evon for better or worse than me.
How are
Uh,
you going to get me out of here? I heard the Azure Vanguard has locked down all the spaceports.
for certain crews, but we've got a pass, I believe. And because
What?
above the table, didn't like when Ed left, the crew left, the crew took off as well, right?
Yeah.
And we have a pass.
Well, they took off, and then as you walked out, there was a guy going down saying they were now, as of now, closing the spaceport. So your ship would have been one of the last ships to leave Thessalos.
Well, what I can guarantee you here is we have a ship, and when it comes time to leave, we'll take you with us. Drop you off wherever you want to go. And we'll keep you safe until the time comes, too. Like I said, make you an honorary member of our crew, even if it's our more forceful recruitment yet. But
Well, I'm not feeling very safe right now. You got me down an alley like you're going to beat the shit out of me or scramble my egg or something.
we're actually hiding you here because I'm not sure how many other people are after you. Between
You're
you
trying
and
to tell me that you're helping me? You just kidnapped me out of a fucking warehouse and threw me down an alley. What is this, like a protection racket? Is that your deal?
no, but I think had we let you go with the collective, well, you wouldn't have much of a choice.
At
Yeah,
least
sure.
do me the dignity of calling this what it is. It's a fucking shakedown.
I mean, it is, but the captain's offer is quite genuine.
Be protected by you assholes. Just let me go.
Then tell us what you know. Simple.
Make a perspective check.
Fuck. Not the time, Ethelred. That's a nat one.
After not now. He sort of, he sort of folds his arms, and he goes, I'm sick of all this. He just kind of like starts basically having like a nervous breakdown. He's like, I'm sick of all you people pushing me around, and every fucking street I walk down, somebody grabs me, and takes my money, and casts spells on me, and threatens to put monsters in my brain, and you're all shaking me down. I'm sick of it. I don't want to. He starts like hyperventilating. So it's like, so it's like losing it down the alley.
Listen, we need to find my
Just like
brother.
leaning against the wall, just sort of. He's just like literally like losing it.
We need to find my brother. Like Ed's playing off how not big a deal it is, but it's freaking huge. So he's gonna tell Ed to get it out of his brain.
Yeah.
Like we got no time right now.
Could just tell us, but no. Okay, Vivara, go root around his mind. Try not to completely break him. He's already halfway there.
The dwarf passes out as you say that. He fully just onto the ground, just like it's hard to read the mind of someone. I'll try. Uh, she casts the spell, dips into his brain. There's no defense. She goes, he's dreaming of better places. I can't see past. He's unconscious now.
What if we wake him up? Chaplain, you know medicine. Can you resuscitate this idiot?
Yeah, let me see what I got. And I will reach into my medical kit for something akin to smelling salts.
I'll tell you, do you think Chaplain carries smelling salts on him?
I mean, they're for reviving people from unconsciousness, so probably.
Okay. I'll tell you what. Why don't we make a let's call it a let's just call it a medicine check and see if you like can find the right thing to do the job.
All right.
Not too hard a DC.
Oh, that's an 8.
Okay, I'm sorry. I said the DC at 10. With an 8, you're
That's
like
fine. Yeah.
scrambling around in your pouch and you're not really sure. You never really had to revive a person from unconsciousness before. You're usually doing the opposite sometimes. You're having trouble figuring out which implement to use.
Yeah, I don't really know if I have anything here. Normally, it's a matter of someone being hurt that they're unconscious. He's not hurt.
Has anybody just tried to give him a little slap?
Just a least.
I think Ed's gonna do that. Like Ed's gonna just slap him because Ed is very frustrated right now. Not
All right,
yours.
you slap him. He remains unconscious.
Alright, well, if he is absolutely useless to us, so we should just move on from this somewhere common. Yeah.
Last. Well, shit.
Ed's gonna search him, see if there's any sign of anything on this fucking door.
Hey, maybe some water?
You start searching him over, Ed, and he doesn't have a coin on him. Like he by every means seems like an individual who's been robbed multiple times. Like he doesn't have a copper to his name. He doesn't have any tools. He's got the clothes on his back, and that's about it.
This guy possibly being GU Babylon. I just sort of says that to himself.
Chaplain, you have water? Does anybody have water, as you suggest?
I don't have water. Somebody might. Or can someone create water? I think I probably can, but I don't.
Really manipulate it.
Vivara takes out her water skin. Says,
it-
"Did none of you carry water skins?"
Pisante.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. She'll hand hers to you, Basan, if you want to do the procedure.
Wait, before you do it, kind of Ethereth kind of like breathe on the water skin to really chill it.
Yeah,
Not freeze
sure.
it, but just kind of like
Yeah. You sort of Iceman it, X-Men 2 style.
Yeah, not quite frozen, but close.
Yeah.
Besides just pours it over his head, like kind of on his forehead, but slowly, not a splash, just a constant trickle of ice cold water.
Some Chinese drip torture situation.
No,
And
but
you let I know, I'm just giving you shit. Yeah, you trickle it down his face and like it starts running down his face into his mouth and sort of like begins to come back to consciousness and kind of as he like spits up some water. He goes, oh, what the fuck? Where am I? And he looks around and goes, oh fuck. And he's just like still in the same.
By the gods, man, just tell us what you know, and we'll just leave.
Yeah, how
Uh,
is it possibly working out for you?
he's
What could be,
like,
what could possibly be so important that you'll go put yourself through this and not say anything?
I just want to be left alone.
Okay, then tell us what you know.
Uh, I let's see here. Would she have? No, the bar would have ran out by now. Let me see something. Um, let's see. He is going to. He sort of says, "If I tell you, you'll just leave me alone."
Yes.
Oh, I don't know. Fine, whatever. We said that if something went south, we would meet at the Cosmic Wharf, Spelljammer, the Spelljammer Wharf, where the ships fly in and out. I don't know if he's there. I haven't even been able to get out of the damned Undercity.
Yeah, that was totally fine, and we'll just leave you alone to the Cosmic Wolf.
That'll give him 10 gold pieces. And
You what?
that'll give him 10 gold pieces.
All right.
And
Fix yourself up. You're like 10 gold.
Clean yourself.
Clean yourself up. Yeah.
Now, and how is he banged up at all?
Yeah, he's got a broken rib and he's limping. He has a black eye. He's
all
all
right.
his life sucks.
So
I'll
I
heal him
will.
up.
I'll nod there for like yours are important. Well, yeah. I'll do a quick cure wounds on him and like
He goes, don't touch me! Ah! It
hey,
screams as you come at him.
yeah, there you go. And, all right, Cosmic War. I told about this place 'cause one guy told me about something, but yeah, I forgot if he said this part.
You like are reaching at him to like cure wound, like he doesn't know. You're like, oh, is that a robot? Well, you're an artificer, so you probably like. I always imagine cure wounds for an artificer is just like a giant needle of like fucking adrenaline or something. So
Hey, he's just aiming his gun at him, probably. So it's like a little fucking Rick and Morty looking.
yeah, you take like a Rick and Morty looking like syringe gun, and he like, okay, fine. I used to work with. I helped him develop the technology. Leave me alone.
Oh, there we go. You catch that? I had a feeling you helped him build whatever it is he's keeping from the other
Just
guy.
don't hit me. Don't poison me. I was just hit researcher. Leave me alone.
Still gonna zap him with it, so he gets like.
You stick him with it. He passes out again, and you heal him.
Yeah, you see, are you dead? Do you believe me that I'm not gonna kill you?
He's passed out.
I don't think he's awake, Captain.
You're gonna feel so much better when he wakes up, unfairly so. But all right, we're gonna need him because if he worked with Avon or whatever Avon built for these people, he's my best bet of trying to recreate it if we need to. So I'm
As I
afraid we're
suck.
gonna have to keep him longer than kind of. Honestly, what are the chances we can, I don't know, take him to one of the nicer inns, maybe put him up with those philosophers, make him feel good, you know?
I have maybe a marginally better idea, and I'll cast Phantom Steed.
Comes up out of it.
I forget how scary it looks to some people, but Basan, can you put him on the back of it, and I'll.
Bolduc wakes up for a moment, looks up at the ghostly horse, and goes, ah! Passes out again.
Bisan picks him up like a child, like a damsel.
He's a heavy child too.
Probably look, if he happens to look.
Dwarves are dense creatures.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sure it's hard, but like if he happens to wake up in those
that.
moments and sees her smiling face down at him.
And then, is it possible to have people ride the Phantom Steed?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Ethrith will get on and kind of like just kind of wrap around his arms around the dwarf's waist and try to hold him upright. So it looks like he's kind of semi-conscious.
We can have Bernie's it.
I mean, is it convincing? I think he just looks kind of drunk, but
Honestly, down here, Ethereth, you might want to just lay him across and make it obvious to everybody that he's passed out. It might be a little bit more intimidating.
I just don't want to get stopped by any guards.
Amara says you're worried about the potentially drunk, passed out dwarf while riding a ghostly skeletal horse down the street. That's the
I'm just another philosopher using magic. What do they care? Surely.
I don't take this completely the right way, but there's a certain, shall we say, flavor to your spells, Ethelred, that doesn't give golden illumination scholar.
But the alternative is having Bisan or Arendelle just lug him around for an hour.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
And then take Jabba's advice, just lay him out on the back of the horse.
Yeah, you start riding off into the sun.
Oh man, he drank too much.
He's gonna be so pissed when he wakes up. You said you let me go. Oh man, this poor guy. I didn't mean to make this dwarf like slow, hard done by, but shit, man. Your brother has fucked this guy over hard. And now you're fucking him over. It's a family tradition.
Hey, I'm keeping him safe just by force. Kind of like,
You're under my protection.
When
Congratulations, you're being saved. Do not resist.
Well, I guess when in Greece,
Yeah, I guess so, huh? I'll tell you what, while this was all going on, meanwhile, outside the alley, a couple of you were standing guard, it sounds like. Basan, Saeed wants to talk to you. He has a little exclamation point bubble above his head.
I just got done playing Baldur's Gate.
He will say to you, Basan, he will say, "You are too reserved. Do you not enjoy killing Mind Flare?"
No, I didn't hate it. It just needed to be done.
No, you didn't hate it? Is it yes or no?
No. I didn't mind it. I didn't enjoy it. It just needed to be done.
And you get Yankee call us, or you get Sarai call us get Yankee psychopaths. The Mind Flare enslaved our people. They destroyed Mother Gith. To slay a Mind Flare is the greatest glory any Gith can achieve, Yankee or Sarai. And you feel nothing?
I'll feel something when the one I need to kill is dead.
You need to learn to enjoy life. That's what I think.
That is fair. That is a fair statement.
Next time, if there is a next time you slay a mind flayer, I expect a Gith war cry from you. And not a half-assed one. I don't want. I don't want. If it's half-assed, I'm gonna kick you.
You will hurt yourself if you kick me.
I don't care. You'll hurt yourself if you don't learn to enjoy things in life. And that was more metaphorical than I meant it to sound. But that went deeper than I meant it to be. But you get the point.
That's what she said.
Sort of snorts and says, "It's a stunt." And goes back to just kind of, yeah. He's been ever since you like killed the mind flayer. He looked at you with that like Jack Nicholson smile, and you just kind of walked away. And he's been like kind of grumpy ever since. And so he goes back to being grumpy. He seems to be biffed by your apathy towards life, or at least towards killing that mind flayer.
He wants like a chest bump, butt slap.
Yeah, he does. He wants a chest bump and a bump slap and a war cry.
I will kill another mind flayer and I will slap his ass.
His skinny gets Yankee ass, by the way. Skinny scaly gets Yankee ass.
You might hurt yourself.
We do not have scales.
We have tough skin, but not scales. So long as you learn to enjoy things worth enjoying.
Fine.
If you're not going to enjoy killing a mind flayer, at least leave it to some of us who will appreciate this kill. He kind of looks at you challengingly.
Rude.
Just say.
Fine.
If you're not going to enjoy it, if you're not going to take pride and glory from it, at least leave it to someone who will.
I take pride in my kills. Why do I have to dance about because I am happy? Why can I not be happy on the inside?
Because it's not enough. And he like slams his hand against the wall. It's not enough.
Is there a book of rules that
there is
says
no
how
books
much? How do I know?
About enjoying a kill. Because your kids or I have neutered you emotionally.
Rude.
See? That should have pissed you off. You didn't say it. You just said rude.
I identified the behavior. You are being rude.
He like throws his hands in the air and like goes for a walk down the street. He like kicks a small dog on the way.
As he turns around, she smiles.
You're like, I identify the emotion. He's like, I hate you. And like walks away. Yeah, your controlled emotional apathy is infuriating to his Gith Yankee values, I suppose.
But he's so cute when he's emotional.
With that, a giant, deathly purple-black magic skeletal horse with a drunk dwarf slung over it rides out of the alley. And you guys can all go wherever it is you want to go next.
Well, perhaps we had to stop by the inn up top first and then go to the Cosmic Wharf, or just head straight there?
Let's let's try and get him to wake up in a nicer place, a nicer state, a good meal. And now that he's told us all of this, hopefully he can tell us more details in a more calm state. And we'll be at the wharf, well, as soon as possible. He did say they would only meet there if it's gone south, and well, we know it's gone south for him, but usually that means things are going to plan for my brother, so we won't know if Evelyn's there or not, but I think, I think we could all use a night of rest or so, but, I imagine, we're, out of all the hunting parties here, hopefully we're the ones with the best lead right now.
Hopefully. I
Hey,
would say
Captain,
yeah,
Cap-
so,
so we will be meeting your brother soon, and you are nice and jovial. Is he not?
never
Because
really got your read on me, so I appreciate that. I'm a little jovial. My brother, he's not inherently evil or anything per se.
not
He's kind of
inherently.
he's just
Did
he's
he
just kind
learn?
of he's just kind of a dick, you know. I don't know how to say this. You know, it always felt like he knew he was smarter than me, but you know, man, maybe that's just me. It's honestly, it's been so long now, and so much has happened that I'm not quite sure who my brother's gonna be when I meet him. You know, we were close together growing up, but I was the lifter and he was the thinker. I banged hammers and he told us where to bang the hammer. Much like I imagine he had this dwarf do. Uh, it's sometimes a powerful mind is
And then because it's the 80s, there's a scene where he goes in the kitchen and the guy's doing coke.
Jeez.
Oh, nice. You
Oh, he's
like
doing coke.
You don't know that's what?
No.
no, yeah, we used to
That's
call
neat.
it trap. It's you take the shivers of a no, I shouldn't tell you that, but in any case, I do need to apologize to the crew. I am very much vulnerable with this mission. You know, it's I bit of a collision of my old life and the life since the prophet's demise, and it's well, it's been weird. I but I promise I'm going to do my duty as I've been as a captain, and I hope any shortcomings I have during this job, not forgiven, but just understood. It's in any case, I'm ready for anything with my brother because we all know we have a more important mission that I won't compromise for anything, not even family.
All right. As you ride along, you'll notice that like occasionally, you like not occasionally, in fact, quite often, you'll spot mercenaries, like in groups of fours, five, sixes, wandering around, like talking to people. You can see like the presence of like mercenaries seeking for the Lumina Collective. Quite a number of them easily to like see you guys come through the street. You're not a subtle band by any measure of the word. And maybe like look at what you're doing, but none of them dare approach. You are clearly the better armed, better numbered, and more intimidating bunch. But they sort of watch from afar, like vultures surrounding a corpse, while they wait for the lions to finish with their meal. In that sort of way, they kind of trying to figure out what you're doing, where you're going, knowing that they can't mess with you, but they'll pick up the scraps later, perhaps. Turn down one street, and very quickly, colors sort of fade, and there's a group of about 10 witches at the end of the way. One of them sort of standing towards the front, who calls out, taps her staff on the ground twice, and calls out and says, I expect the prophet Etherith is amongst you. I would speak with him.
Like riding the horse, so I just kind of trot up. I am Etherith. To whom am I speaking?
You speak with me. And this is a male, by the way. Again,
Yeah.
unusually. He says, I am brother Aphestion. You may know me by the Hollow Prophets. I am the keeper of the Tome of the Crossroads. And I would ask that you very kindly hand over the dwarf. Hecate has told us of his prominence in this chase. We may not share the same ideals, but we share the same goddess.
I look back at the captain and kind of as if looking for a nod or a shake of the head.
Yeah, he's gonna give me one of these like witches, so yeah, go do your thing. By all means, profit after it. Profit.
Tell me of this. What omen has Hecate given to you regarding this dwarf?
The seers have determined that there is knowledge in the mind of that dwarf that may aid us in finding the one we mean to kill. We respect that Hecate has shared a vision with you, but she challenges us in our faith. We will be faithful to the original prophecy. So hand over the dwarf, that we might complete the will of Hecate.
Etherith will. Maybe it has his staff out anyway. Just do this. How many did you say there were?
There's about all of them wielding, wands and staves and such. But this gentleman stands in front of all of them and holds some grimoire in his hand and looks at you fanatically.
How many?
10. Including the Hollow Prophet.
That's concentration. That's up to 6. That's no good either. Wait, what is this? That's also concentration. Are they all stood like close together?
They're standing pretty close together and they have their eyes fixed on you intensely.
Say within like a 10-foot radius.
I don't think within a 10-foot radius. They're a little more knowledgeable about how magic works than that.
Damn it.
They're in an alleyway though.
They're standing in the middle of a street. There's
In the street.
People peeking out their windows and shit.
Okay.
He says, "No, you're sizing us up, aren't you? You're looking for a way to slaughter us, aren't you?
Slaughter, no.
Perhaps you
Uncharacteristically,
should revoke your own prophecy if you mean death to us, then. It seems that death is your path as well."
No. Sizing up to kill, no. I'm uncharacteristically walking the path of life. And I look back at the captain.
As you look back, as you turn your eyes away from him, the rest of you will notice he flicks back a wand. He goes to swing at Etherith, who's not paying attention. There will be a flash of black and purple that sort of blinds you guys for a second. That's sort of like a silvery moonlight through black and purple. And you'll see standing in front of him is where are you? What's your name? you'll see Callistra, the Starborn Flame. Yep. She's standing there, and she's like holding half of his wand in the air, like so. And there's like a sizzle from under her grip, and he's like pointing the hilt of his wand at you at the wrist, but his wand was like destroyed. He like looks at Callistra and goes, Callistra, hey. She goes, you would slaughter Hecate's faithful to complete her will. Because he stands in the way. It's just, he received a prophecy from my mothers also. She like looks around and says, we may all walk different paths, but we walk Hecate's path. If you have all mean to slaughter one another, you have lost sight of the crossroads. She'll look at the hollow prophet and at his tone back at him and says, you should read that book you protect. Now go. He sort of, his face sort of twists angrily at you at breath, and he'll kind of Severus Snape turn his cloak and will gesture to the other witches, and they'll kind of recede into the alleys and shadows and disappear. And Callistra will turn around and approach the group.
I don't know what to say, sister.
I'll just tap Ephraim on the shoulder, or just tap Ephraim. Maybe a thank you.
Callistra sort of smiles, kind of like cockily about that at you, Ephraim.
Well, yes, thank you. I'd got the impression you were more or less walking a different path to everyone, avoiding the crossroads entirely and taking a third option of, well, neither life or death. But I appreciate this.
I learned a long time ago that there's no avoiding crossroads. It's just a matter of which one you walk up to, I suppose. So, despite myself, I'm here on behalf of our mother. I have received a prophecy that I think might be of some interest to you. And no, it's not about who's right and who's wrong. I don't think, anyway. But I didn't expect you to be so ready to kill followers, I think.
Thrift shakes his head. I was at a crossroads of my own, having to choose between saving this dwarf or surrendering him. I was planning to dimension door out of the area, but that would mean abandoning the captain. And Ethel kind of like grits his teeth. As we both know, hesitation at a crossroads is death. So I thank you for bailing me out.
Just don't turn your back to an enemy in the future. Now, I should very much like to deliver what I've told, if you're all willing to hear it. I will post this in the chat, so don't worry about.
Yeah.
She looks sort of broadly as she speaks, and she says, and you could just. It might just be your imagination from the way she speaks, but you could almost feel like there's another couple voices sort of subtly layered behind her own as she begins to speak, but it could just be your imagination. Probably is. When the child of stone wakes the silent spark and weaves the veil into armor bright, then shall the sky sisters sweep or weep. The void shall whisper, and the flame beyond thought will seek the mind that bears it. At the fractured spine, where stars break and time bleeds, 6 paths will converge, yet none shall lead true. The blade will thirst, the crown will lie, the mirror will shatter. 3 keys shall turn, flesh, mind, and will. Only one hand may hold them, yet all will reach. If shadow bows to light, the veil will hold. If light forgets the dark, the crossroads burn. And in the final breath, before the moon goes dark, the last name shall be spoken once more, or never again. These are the cryptic words of our mother. Never straightforward is she. But is that her fault or Apollo's? I shall know.
Perhaps to speak in plainer futures means to perhaps fix it in place. Vagueness allows for things to twist, for things to be different.
And grants many.
That too.
She says, now, I can connect some of the dots for you if you wish. I expect Vivara could as well. She sort of looks past Vivara, who's almost like elated to have this woman's eyes on her. And sort of looks back and says, but it is altogether too relevant to ignore. And if you should wish it, I would be willing to provide arcane guidance as required, so long as we play by Hecate's rules, so long as we play by the cult of Hecate's rules first and foremost, before any other of these factions would reach for the key. I expect you've received offers before this.
We have.
I'll abandon them, and you shall have my aid.
What say you, Captain? The Azure God, we've already promised the technology. Do we break our deal and acquire the aid of my sister?
Right now, and just like when we made that deal, all that's on my mind is finding Avon, being the first to find him, and then you all know the rest. And whoever we have to make treaties with to get that done, we'll do it. But your goddess is or your lady, mistress. She's in her own twisted way, she's served us well. Now, I don't know if anyone's said this to you yet, but do you find any irony in being a prophet before the prophet's demise? I stopped
It's
contemplating irony for years, but I
You named
just
your ship the Prophet's Demise, I think.
he was one of the big proponents of pushing the name too. Even
the irony is not lost on me, but the illithid we hunt likes to think of himself as a prophet.
Ah, I see.
I do kind of cast an eye to Ed. I know that Hecate has provided a lot of aid to us in one form or another, but I would advise against complacency. Like I look to Callista then. Our mother is whimsical and capricious, and while we might hold her favor for now, that can change in a heartbeat.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
I would like the aid of Callistra, but of course, this will come with the consequence of backstabbing the Azure Guard. Is everyone here prepared to shoulder that risk?
Well, I believe that at the end of the day, we need to find the captain's brother. However we do that is however we do it. And whoever we piss off is whoever we piss off. It's going to happen to someone, and there's going to be a lot more people that are pissed off than happy about what we've done. So I don't think it really matters what we do at this point in time until we find him. But just on a personal note, I agree with you, Everest.
Plus, as at the very least, I have already figured out to some extent the first line of that prophecy, and I think it's vital we don't just hand over the technology to anyone.
No. Is that how you enjoy?
When the child of stone wakes a silent spark and weaves the veil into armor bright, well, that's the shield, isn't it?
Agreed.
And shall the sky sisters weep, the void shall whisper, and the flame beyond thought will seek the mind that bears it. And, well, that's everyone. That's everyone seeking it. Hang on, I think I might be misinterpreting it.
How do you interpret Sky Sister's book? What does that mean, do you think?
I would have thought it would be the stars themselves, but maybe I'm wrong.
Ah, I like that. The stars are sometimes gods, celestial bodies. Perhaps there's more going on behind the scenes than any of us can see, which leads me to believe when it says, weaves the veil into armor bright, veil being the division between this world and the worlds unseen. Perhaps the shield is more than it seems to many who attempt to claim it. Perhaps, and she looks at Ed, is perhaps your brother was creating something more than anybody was aware of. Something of celestial proportion. Why would your brother be creating something that deals in celestial bodies in the veil?
I'm not usually. Um, he builds solutions. Sometimes the problems of our own making. My worry is to stop whatever my father and I created, what the prophet is seeking to replicate. I fear Heaven's created something stronger than counter it. Maybe it's a shield for a sword, or it could also just be a bigger sword. I have no
Well,
way of
shields are
knowing.
meant to block swords. Perhaps there is a very, very large sword unseen as of now.
And for now, let's focus on getting your brother into our custody. And at least then we'll be in a better position to decide who, if anyone, gets access to that technology.
You know, the veil could be, and the shield could be the fact of keeping the celestials and the gods and the deities that we all have and worship, safe from the Illithids. Now, if they want that, they could break that. And it means in ways, in ways of breaking people and breaking their will, is to take away their religion, their gods, their deities. Maybe that is what they're after, to try and reverse that so that we cannot go to our gods. That would mean everybody would be at their mercy.
Perhaps. I foresee that whatever we are seeking, there are higher stakes than many know. And so, yes, I agree that we should proceed quickly. Allow me to finish my interpretation, and then I shall leave you. And if you should need me, and she'll toss a stone to Azareth, sending stone, you merely speak into that, and I shall appear. Now, flame beyond thought. Well, with mind flares in the game, that makes me think of psionic powers. Perhaps a metaphor for mind flares. Or, if we're talking about celestial proportions, far worse, the bar. That is a dreary thought. Perhaps this shield or mighty sword has something to do with the far realm or psionic power, which is neither a good thing. 6 paths will converge. Well, that's easy. There are 6 factions that are worth noting anyway. The Vanguard, the Lumina, the Blades, the Mind Flayers, Hecate, and of course yourselves. 3 keys, flesh, mind, and will. This is a tricky part. Flesh, mind, and will. Not one I struggle with. It could have something to do with... Well, mind could be mind flares, but that's all I have of that. But what's interesting is only one hand may hold them, which implies a choice. That either you, or perhaps one of these other factions, are the ones to decide the final outcome of this prophecy. And the mirror will shadow, well, mirrors reflect truth of things. That being broken, perhaps someone's truth will be broken. Someone's belief, perhaps, will be broken. Not unlike what you've said, Rendo, about faith. The truth of faith is broken, maybe. That's as far as I've gotten. And of course, the very end. Lost name shall be spoken once more, never again. An ancient force. Names have power. Again, that's as far as I've gotten. Now, I have much to do myself. Strings to pull, friends to speak to. I will leave you to your manhunt. Good luck.
Sister, before you leave,
Yes.
I imagine when all of this is done, that we will have to leave Thessalis. I was wondering if you would at all be interested in joining us.
I don't expect we won't see each other again. But ships are so cramped.
That they
I'll think
are,
about it.
but the universe is also so vast. And maybe it's just maybe it's just in my blood, but traveling wild space, seeing the moons pass by, there's nothing quite like it.
I will consider. Good luck. Find your adventurer, your inventor. And hopefully he doesn't destroy something too important to see without. And as he's walking away, she'll begin to pass by you, Arendil, and kind of like stop and like look at you. You kind of smile and sort of say quietly, but not too quietly that anybody close couldn't hear. She kind of says, I knew I liked you.
I'm a very likable guy. Thank you.
She smirks at that. And she looks back at Ethrith and says, Indeed, I will consider you after I think. And will sort of put her hands behind her back and kind of do down the street away.
I'll just I'll look at Everest and just say, you may need that stone before long, or someone might. Anyway, to the docks.
I saw the look on your face immediately when she threw the stone, Rendell. I saw the look. You're like, incredible. All right.
Maybe at some point, Erendil, but she might be too much for you to handle.
Well, we'll enjoy that while it happens, though, shall we?
Let's focus on task and look to Ed. Perhaps for clarity's sake, next, if that happens again on the way up, should I just take the dwarf and run and have faith that all of you can get out of there, or give up the dwarf?
Always take the dwarf and run out there. Always take the dwarf and run.
What's the happening? She elf.
Very well. Let's continue on. I only have so much concentration I can give to this horse.
All right. You guys continue your journey. You will luckily, without any further distraction, make it up and out of the Undercity back to blessed fresh air and sunlight. Some of you kind of pull one of those as the light hits your eye, but you'll largely be okay. You guys go in directly to the Cosmic Wharf, the Spelljammer dock.
I think we wanted to drop off the dwarf somewhere like nice.
Yeah, I wanted to like put him up for the night, see if like under, getting him some good food, some like drink, he might tell us more exactly what he worked on for Evan.
So you want to find like a nearby, maybe subtle but nice inn kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. Like the moment I'm picturing is he wakes up and he's like surrounded in like fine sheets. He's like, "It's amazing, it worked out." And then Ed walks out, I was like, "Good, you're awake." And he's like, "Oh fuck."
Incredible. Yeah, let's freaking do it. So let's see here. Where would be a good place you could take up? So I would think as you guys come out, you're in the Fey Revel Street, which doesn't have anything like that, but it does back on the entertainment district, in which I think there's two options the party would know about that would fit that. The first is the Dreamer's Haven, which is more like a spa than an inn, where you were at Etherith, so I don't know if that's really what you're going for. Chaplain, you guys end up walking by this kind of hole in the wall tavern music hall known as the Eclipsed Lyre. That's where you hung out and met that one really good musician. It's definitely like a nice but subtle place if you wanted to stop there. That's a good option. Those would be the two initial options.
Yeah, let's take him to a good option. Somewhere safe, relaxing.
I like that place. I've been in that place over there. I liked it. They had very good music.
Well, as our resident owner and proprietor of Good Times and Entertainment, I take your word. Let's go there.
All right. You walk in. You see, you're in this wonderful, wonderful tavern again. Let's go take a little stroll to this map over here. Yeah, you walk into the tavern hall. It is a lovely sight where it's vibrant and alive. Chaplain, you might be pleased to see that Odious is playing. You all see this like gorgeous Apollo-esque individual, golden blonde hair, or Orpheus-esque. I think Orpheus would be the best way to say it, because he's got big lyre, a very attractive masculine body, sort of strewn across this almost like lounging bench on the stage and like playing gorgeous lyre music that could bring someone to tears. Yeah, you walk in. The proprietor is happy to give you guys whatever rooms you require. We'll say it's 5 silver for a bed. And we'll say the place is pretty nice. We'll say 7 silver. We'll go up a level there. So 7 silver for a bed for your unconscious friend. You guys just hang around the hall if you want. Actually, I'll tell you what, it's getting late. You guys have had a busy day. So as you come out, I'll say it's like twilight. So it might not be the worst option to get yourself some rooms here for the night and have a snooze.
Yeah, that seems good to me.
Cool. 7 silver for whoever wants a bed, 5 silver for whoever wants a meal.
Etherith will pointedly request a room to share with the dwarf.
Got it. And the guy kind of looks at your passed out drunken friend, and he kind of squints his eyes at you. He goes,
It's just so he doesn't. You know how people can throw up when they're unconscious.
Make a persuasion check. Not IBC. It's a good point. Yeah, it's a deception.
Yeah. Deception. So we'll just
change the modifier.
Yeah. It is 11.
Yeah, he goes, oh, fair enough. And he will provide you a room with 2 beds.
Kind of just God, why are dwarves made of? They just carry stones in their stomachs.
Would you like a hand, Etherith?
Please. I'm not built for strength.
No. But that's fine. And I'll grab hold of the dwarf and I'll take him to whatever room.
Okay. You do so, take him up the stairs, throw him in a bed. I'm gonna see how long he's passed out for. Okay, he's out cold. He's out like a fucking block. And you throw him in the bed. And successfully delivered to comfort and ease. You guys can all meet back downstairs and have some drinks, whatever you want to do. If you guys want, they seem to have a house specialty for silver known as the Harmonic Brew, if anyone was interested.
Sure.
All right.
Oh, I can't drink it. Never mind.
I'll say you can. You don't have to, but you can drink it.
Yeah. All right.
I'll have one with Chaplain. Why not?
Got it. Navarre will get one as well.
My son will absolutely have one.
Saeed sees you get one, kind of almost nods to himself that you bought the drink. He's like, I'll have 2. And some drinks are served. You guys will immediately see Chaplain drink without lips, and half of it just spills all over their face. You guys drink it. It is very interesting as it's strange. The music was really great. As you drink it, you find that it just the music just changes to hit this perfect harmonic range that is just slightly tips the music in the right direction. That just makes it like appeasing to your ear, and it's like specific to each person. So like none of you will if you guys like if any of you are like skilled with performance and you start talking about like the actual like notes, you'll find that you're contrasting what note is actually being played at any given time. But to each of you, it's just like a couple notes off in the right direction to just make it extra appealing to the ear. And the harmonies are just like almost like personally prescribed for your ear, and it's great.
Does that drink just work inside, or does it work on anything? As in, if I went outside just to get a bit of fresh air and look up into the stars, is the
Yeah,
sight different, or is it just sound?
it seems to be just sound. You look around, there's like some stained glass in here that does that was already like changing and moving with the music before. You don't notice any change. You go outside of Rendell, like look up at the stars and the moon. No sights seem to change, but even like the ebb and flow of like people talking in the streets, like it all just seems to just like level out to be nice and pleasing to the ear. So if someone like just kind of breaks out into like a sharp laughter, it's not too sharp.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah, but it seems to be solely audible.
This would be a good drink for your club, Chaplain.
Yeah, it certainly would. I don't know. I'll have to talk to the owner, see if he'd be willing to part with the recipe.
Um, you'll note that inside there are two beautiful statues inside. You'll see on either side of the stage there is a statue of that you guys have seen because I believe it was Chaplin who received the idol of this god. You'll see a statue of Apollo with sort of stringy locks of hair, white marble. He's got a bow strung across his back, and just like this young, beautiful, masculine. There's another one that I don't know if you guys recognize on sight, but has like leaves in his hair and berries in his hair. He has like almost like a hunting cloak on top of him. He holds like a large, wide chalice in his hand. And those are the two statues that are on either side of the stage.
Can I religion check that one?
You certainly can.
Can I as well?
You certainly can. Anybody wishes to.
Oh, man. I've got to shut my D&D Beyond all the way down and let it rest for a little while. I haven't rolled anything over a 5. Like,
Oh, no. Use
And
your physical
forever.
dice. Use your physical dice.
I know.
16.
16. That would be the god Dionysus, the most popular of all the gods. The god of revelry and ecstasy and wine and theater. He is certainly the most popular, even more so than the god of love.
Dionysus, god of parties and getting wasted.
Oh, he sounds like fun.
Well, in his most extreme, you go absolutely nuts, balls crazy on psychoactives and potentially go on an absolute killing spree. I'm not sure if he approves. What if he does?
Jesus. Yeah, after that was certainly interpretation of Dionysus, sure. Which is fair. He totally knows them.
There are degrees to revelry.
There are.
Hey,
yeah.
I don't know if everybody remembers or not, but we should probably see if we can, now that we're back on the surface, we should probably check and see tomorrow if we can find a jeweler. And he points to his backpack that has 50,000 gold pieces worth of gems in it.
Oh,
We should find a
yes.
jeweler.
We should find a jeweler.
You guys have been walking around. Ching, 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 ching,
Yeah.
ching.
Hey, what do you have in your bag, Chaplain?
Oh, that's right. You weren't with us. So he opens it up, and inside there's a chest, and he like cracks open the chest, and it's clearly chock full of like, I guess the most extravagant and valuable gems you could imagine. I suppose 50,000 gold worth.
50,000
Chaplain.
gold piece in very finely carved rubies, sapphires, diamonds, emeralds, the finest, most precious gems.
I guess everybody also might want to give some thought to whether they want any of these for themselves. I did buy diamonds just prior to leaving our last port, so I'm set up for diamonds for now.
You did draw the card. I wouldn't want to take it
Devar
away from
says,
you.
"Well, wait a second, Athrith. Hold on. If I could take a handful, it's okay."
Keep it down, Chaplain. That is, my God. Yeah. Just keep it under the table.
Oh no, I think we did. I think we did divide it up because I can see it in my inventory.
Yeah, I think in order to carry it, we divided it up a little
Yeah,
bit.
we did. Yeah, this is I got five, 5 gems.
In any case, I just want to remind everyone there's been some very impressive weaponry we saw here on ships. Certain sorcerer laser beam. So I can, if anyone's feeling generous, with, a stronger ship, stronger life. So I won't tell you how to spend your money, but if you want me to, I happily will. There's many improvements.
Well, that was kind of also what I was suggesting was that while we're here on a planet with a decent marketplace, I assume if anybody, once we unloaded some of these, if anybody had something that they were interested in, this will be part of the ship's fund now that anybody's welcome to draw from.
I don't know about purchasing anything beyond perhaps materials. There are potions I could start to brew, although it might take time.
As I said, laser beams on head of ships.
I also, I mean, we can always try and work a trade, but I don't know how much cash is going to be available. There's a very good possibility we might not be able to do a full exchange for this amount.
Never a bad problem.
And we don't have to spend it all here, right? Like we can see what
Indeed.
is available, and if something looks tasty, we can buy it, and if not, then we're okay.
Uh,
Anyway, that's a tomorrow problem. For tonight, we listen to music.
the Dionysus. Unravel.
Woo! Yay!
Whoopee! Um, as you are all sitting there, there's an applause as the wonderful lyre player completes his work. He'll go over for a drink. A new bard will go up as it seems there's a constant rotation. He'll kind of go sit off in some booth off in the corner. Anyone who's paying attention, she doesn't notice you guys, but you will see, for whatever reason, has ended up here as well. I hope I'm saying her name right because it's not on me right now, but Pomenestra. She arrives and kind of goes over to him, and they like share a hug and like kiss either cheek, and we'll sit down at the table across from each other, and we'll talk begin to talk.
Just for like memory's sake, remind me who Paul Minestra is.
I'm sorry, I'm probably getting her name all wrong. Our wonderful demigoddess of Hecate.
Oh, Callistra. Got it.
Callistra, my apologies. Excuse me. Sorry, I got a lot of notes to travel through here. But yeah, she shows up, sees him, they share a hug, kiss on either cheek, and they sit across the table from one another and share a drink. I will say the kiss on either cheek, you guys will have noticed like a common greeting here. It isn't like something you're seeing for the first time.
Oh, I'm gonna start doing that.
Is there anything else anyone would like to do this evening before turning in?
No, I'm good.
You're gonna talk to your friend after?
I don't know if I'd call us friends, more like, I mean, we're technically siblings,
Hey,
but
oh, whoa. Aren't you gonna, you could go say goodnight, maybe buy a round, share some life stories before you knew you were semi-related or whatever.
given that our up here, my mother is not popular, I'd rather not.
No, that I
I'd,
get. We'll
I'd
say
rather.
this. Time with siblings can be mixed bag, but sometimes it's a good surprise. And the opportunity is limited. I understand your precaution.
I think it best I just let her enjoy a moment of normalcy away from being, well, a demigod. I get the feeling she really treasures those kinds of moments.
That's
I
your
could
wish.
see you understanding effort. People all need to escape at some point. Anyway, I shall be off. Good night, all.
No, oh, I'll follow you soon because I'm gonna be there early to wake up our dwarven friend or whenever he arrives.
I'll be keeping an eye on him. I'll keep the door locked.
If you do need a hand through the night, Efrith, give me a shout.
He's one dwarf, and I'm a quite seasoned sorcerer. What's the worst he could do?
I'm not saying you can't handle it. I'm just saying if you do need a hand.
What's likely to happen is he'll just pass out again out of terror. But thanks for the offer.
Let's see if I can cook something up. That's what you're asking. I got you at the end. Make it hard for you. I hear you.
Speaking of, I better go check that he isn't actually awake right now. It'd be very awkward.
You head upstairs. He is still out cold.
Can I make a medicine check just to get a sense of like,
Is he alive?
yeah, is he good?
You good, bro? Make me a medicine check, sure.
Yeah, I want to get it's a sense of like, is he going to stay there for a long time, or just is he breathing good? 14.
14. He seems to be fine. His coloration's fine. He's breathing all right. He's just seemingly asleep.
Make an effort, just like tuck him in real tight, So when he does wake up, it's going to be like effort to get out of bed.
The bed's eating me. It's a mimic. No problem. You do so with ease. You tuck him in real tight. Okie dokie. With that, you all find your way to sleep or stay up to, keep an eye on things. And yeah, with that, let's go to a break. We'll come back in about 15 minutes and complete or continue our journey.
Ooh.
We'll get started when other people get back to seats. Oh, wow. See, I'm a magic singer. Let's see. Come on. All right, let's get to it. I'll start my screen share back again. Damn, Chaplain. Good luck, soldier. All right. So, wake up. Well, actually, after you'll wake up before anybody else, because you'll hear like at the door, and you'll look over. You'll sort of wake up and see your good dwarven friend working hard to try and get up that door, but it's locked and it's like a two-way lock hold, and you have the key. So he's like trying to get the door open, but he's locked in. He turns around and sees you wake up. Muted.
Morning, whatever your name is, dwarf.
He goes, yeah, where am I? What? Yeah, you said you let me go.
We did, but then you told us you knew about the technology.
You're going to jab me with a giant needle.
Well, do you know? I believe you had injuries before. Have you noticed there was a guard?
Oh. Yeah, I suppose they are.
So just look, it's very early morning. Look, can you go back to sleep for just another hour, please?
He's like, no, let me go. Let me out. I want to get out of here. Let me go. Strange witch dragon.
I mean, that's just accurate. That's not even an insult.
I'm not trying to. Let me go.
Look, just sit down. Look, you are safe. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm too tired for this.
I'm gonna say you're in the room with me.
I like sit up. And I'm half asleep still, telling you to just relax. If I wanted to hurt you, I would have already done it. Trust me.
How am I supposed to relax and I've been kidnapped by a whatever you are?
So look at I just
look. I won't tell. I won't tell anybody nothing. Just let me go. We'll find a rock to hide under. I don't know. I'll do. Just let me go.
just relax. Truth be told, you want off this planet. Well, as far as I'm aware, the Azure guards have locked off the spaceport anyway, so you're not going anywhere.
Like looks around.
And if you're worried about mind flayers, whoever the hell else coming to get you, well, We've slain our fair share. So it might not seem it, but out of everyone you could possibly be near, we're probably your best bet at survival right now. So just calm down.
Make a persuasion check.
Can I roll? Well, yes, 27.
Hey, you
Finally
sort of
calm
like,
this guy down.
he kind of blinks. Reason seems to take to some measure upon him. He kind of grumbles and goes and sits back down, kind of grumbling to himself about how he never should have taken that job, and never should have done a number of things. He sort of grumbles to himself about his lot in life, as usual.
Thank you. Does he rub his eyes?
What am I supposed to do?
Oh. Lay down.
He lays down, folds his arms. After about 2 minutes, he says, "Don't sleep."
Well, if I go downstairs and get an early breakfast and I bring you with me, are you going to run away?
No.
Let's get a little insight on that.
Make a insight. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. That's a 10.
Luckily, he rolled a decent persuasion.
Okay.
You sense the it's begrudging enough that like you hear the begrudging sort of like annoyedness in the voice enough that it relays to you that like, well,
Excellent then. Let me get dressed and we'll grab some breakfast. You can tell me all about how much you hate the captain's brother.
no, there's a captain.
I have to like get out of bed, put in his robes, and unlock the door.
Grumble. You guys will go downstairs where music is still playing. It seems to be like basically like a permanent rotation of bards, but the music has definitely changed to like a very pleasant early morning, light strings, just kind of almost like a waking up sort of lounging music. It's very pleasant. You can order your food for the day, your ration for the day, if you will. So another 5 silver, and order for him as well because he has no money.
Yeah, I'll pay for him.
Yep.
Arendelle
And the 10 gold you
already...
gave him was just on the ground, so I assume you picked it back up. Go ahead, Arendelle.
Yeah.
Sorry, Aaron, I'll already be up because I'm only a 4-hour meditator, so I'd have been up and about.
Fair enough. He sort of sees you. And, you're perhaps surprised to see the dwarf somewhat complacently following Ethrith down the stairs.
Morning, Rendil.
Good morning, Etherith. Baldeck. Trust you had a comfortable evening.
I suppose he goes plops down to seat, folds his arms like a angry child who wanted to stay home and watch cartoons.
He's compliant now. Finally saw reason.
Well, that makes jobs a little bit easier. You do realize, though, Baldeck, that this is most probably your safest route.
That's what I
There is
said.
other
Yeah,
looking for you and most probably willing to do a lot more than put you up for a night or keep you safe. I'd imagine torturing, hurt, and maim just to get out what you know.
I suppose. If anyone sticks a needle in me again, I'm gonna freak out. I don't know.
Well, if you somehow get hurt again, I suppose we'll just have to have Chaplin do it instead.
When the food comes, he just ravenously gobbles it up, like he doesn't go for the calorie. He just like starts like he eats with the voraciousness of someone who hasn't eaten in a while.
So, Baltic, I have to ask. I'm aware that you and the captain's brother were making some sort of Spelljammer shield technology, but I've been led to believe that it might be something more to it than just a shield.
He just keeps like eating. He goes, I wouldn't know about that, but and he keeps going, and he would say, he said, but Yvonne insisted on. He's like almost choking on the food as he's eating it, and he's like, but Yvonne insisted on doing a lot of some of the certain parts of the technology by himself. He wouldn't show even me some of the schematics for certain portions. I don't know. He could have been doing something special, but it worked in the end. It was. And he's just like eventually, and he's done. He's like, he's already done. He ate the whole plate. And
What sort of? He must have like at least known what sort of materials he was trying to use.
yeah, there was these. These really exotic materials. I thought excessively exotic from off planet. Things that weren't even on the periodic table here at Thessalos that he needed to get imported from other planets.
What kinds of things?
He wouldn't tell me most of them. I signed some of the orders. There was this, and he starts going through like a list of like nothing that either you guys will understand. But he starts listing off like a number of like gemstones sounding like elements and sort of gases. He starts going into like a really nitty gritty, like artificiary, like alchemical science stuff that is way beyond.
I'm sort of hoping that I can maybe like try to get at least some vague handle on what exactly like what might the shield have more going to it with Arcana, but if that's not gonna fly.
Are you proficient with alchemy tools?
Alchemist supplies, yes.
Okay, I will give it to you. High DC, because you just like this is advanced technology for Great Space, which is already way beyond what Realm Space is capable of.
Yeah.
So go ahead and make me an Arcana check at advantage. It is a very high DC to sort of try and handle what he's saying.
Once again, my advantages are like you don't get it. 19.
19. No, like this guy's clearly very smart, and you're struggling to follow. You could ask him to like try and dumb it down for you a bit, like. You know.
Well, even this is clearly I kind of looked at it and like, Realm Space is so far behind. Even I'm struggling here.
Well, there is something to say for the simpler life. But yes, it seems to be a lot more advanced here.
Sort of grumbles and says, all right, let me make this as easy as I can for you. The shield generator, it uses obviously the power of the spell jamming home to create an energy-based shield. Not a solid shield, but an energy one, like a force field. You know what I mean when I say that?
But yes, I'm familiar with these arcane shields, like mage armor.
Right. Like for like a really, really big mage armor. That's exactly right. Basically amplifying an abjurative protection like that. Yes, but I don't know. Yvonne was having materials imported that seemed too exotic for what we were trying to do. We were just trying to power up, essentially, a powerful abjuration, intensifying the energy coming from the Spelljammer helm into the enchantment, create a bigger abjuration. That's all we were trying to do. So we were trying to enhance the magic, make it bigger. That's a good way to, very bastardized way of putting it.
I suppose I can understand amplification. This is
Now,
just
the
me.
weird thing is that's not what a lot of what Yvonne had imported did. So he had these crazy rare materials and parts and such, and worked in his private lab on them, and had pieces built into this portion of the machine that he wouldn't tell anyone about.
So would this sort of be as if one were trying to cast an abjuration, but using components and incantations from a different school entirely?
Well, he never let us take a look inside. Whenever he had it built, it was already, built. So we didn't really look through it. It was kind of his own private thing. And sometimes it would make the whole thing not work and piss me off. And he'd insist on holding off and me making new adjustments to nonsense things. The best I could tell was that he was. It seemed like he was trying to do the opposite in a way sometimes. Like he was trying to intentionally get in the way of the work or slow it down, maybe. And maybe that makes sense considering all the trouble it is now.
Well, would it be possible for someone to build something that could plane shift a ship? Or
Plane
open
shift?
portal?
I don't know if it's possible. I mean, the Illithid have them on their nautiloids, but no one's really figured out how they do that. Those nautiloids are almost impenetrable because of their plane shifting capabilities. It would take I don't know what it would take. They pop in and they fuck shit up and then they pop out. There's no way to really nail one down that's intact. But yes, there are ships that can do that. If you could catch a nautiloid for yourself, then I suppose you're in business. But again,
No.
I don't know how they do it.
What I mean, though, is it possible to build something like that?
I'm sure it is. I've never heard of someone developing something for the wider masses. It's something that I think is currently exclusively to the words the Nautiloids skill sets, but I have no doubt if someone were willing to fund it, someone could figure it out, but nobody has. But anyway, Yvonne, he was a bit of a wild card. He built this one thing and insisted it needed to be inside of the shield generator and take power from the Spelljammer helm. And no matter what we said, he wouldn't alter it or change it in any way. It was this big. He wouldn't let us look at it. He wouldn't let us. It basically had plated shells over it and. How to explain it? Power cords into the Spelljammer helm. And it was this one big piece of technology he wouldn't let anyone look at, insisted it needed to be a part of the technology and compensated for it. And that he would not relent on. So the first thing he built, he put it there and said, work around. And then he went back to his lab and started working on other things. I wouldn't be surprised if the shield generator was capable of other things the amount of Vaughn sort of had built into it and forcing us to work around.
It almost sounds as if the shield is secondary to whatever's it's being built on top of. I guess so. Is it the Nexus is more important than the shield itself?
Maybe Vaughn was a bit of a show-off. Maybe he was trying to make it an even better shield generator and would sort of surprise everybody in the end, but he took off once it was, at least the first working prototype was conceived. He destroyed the generator, took off with the plans, and I don't even know why he did it. It was you know how much work and how much money went into it?
Perhaps this is just hypothetical. Perhaps he thought that what he'd created would be misused.
My thoughts exactly.
Well, maybe he shouldn't have fucking had it built in the first place.
Well, isn't that the curse of genius? You get so excited about making something new and exciting that when you're halfway through, do you realize that maybe you shouldn't?
He kind of sits back and goes, huh. You know, that Lumina collective guy kept saying this to me about one of his forefather whatever's. He said that. I guess that makes sense now. He said, "Yeah, how did it go? You can't. Uh, an uneducated heart is. You need an educated heart to have an educated mind, or something like that." I don't know what the fuck he was talking about, but I guess that's kind of in the same vein.
This might seem primitive to you, but back where we're from, realm space, our captain created something known as the Quadrich that allowed ballistas to fire to load and fire much quicker than normal. And while that might
Are
seem,
you still using ballistas?
yes, he may laugh, but in a in a sphere where everyone is only armed with ballistas that must fire and then reload, he near tripled the speed of combat in that realm. Reshaped warfare forevermore. And that's quite a frightening thing if you stop and think about it.
Yeah, that bastard Ares always trying out mistakes.
So whatever it may be that whatever Yvonne made would perhaps reshape war here once again. I mean, a shield that protects the entire Spelljammer, that alone, to me, seems like something that would change the landscape of spelljamming battles forever.
You know, if things weren't so fucking crazy, I'd suggest you go to the temple and have them fight the government in the ass for indulging in sort of Ares philosophy, just warfare for the sake of warfare.
Well, I think even Athena would not entirely discount the wisdom of staying ahead of the arms race.
If you say so. Not truly a religious type too much, but I mean, as much as the next person, I'm an inventor.
Why did Yvonne say to meet at the Cosmic Wharf? That seems like such a public space.
As I'm sure you're starting to understand, Vaughn was the smartest guy in the room, but he wasn't the sharpest guy in the room, if you know what I mean.
Reluctantly, yes, I think I understand.
He knows shit, but he doesn't get it, you know?
Is there any chance he had something stored away or hidden there that he might use in a pinch?
I imagine he probably wanted to try and pay someone to get him off planet side. It's probably what he wants. Even if he ran into trouble. And frankly, I'm surprised that this has gone as long as it has. I never thought Yvonne was sort of capable of running and hiding so much and so well. A lot of people after him.
Indeed.
He's not a fast learner. What he knows, but what he's learning, well, so.
So apart from yourself, did he have any other associates, contacts, maybe whoever was bringing in his more exotic type of purchases?
Oh, sure, we had a whole team of researchers, but I mean, I went looking for a couple of them, but they all got pinched by the Azure Guard. And I ran to the Undercity because I guess I was the only one with 2 cents in my head that that's the only place the Azure Guard would really find anybody. And then realized that there was a whole cult of witches looking for me. And then Luminous Scholar fella showed up. And then Mind Flares caught me, and I've been re-caught by the cult of Hecate, I guess.
I mean, yes and no.
Right, sure.
A
Nice
split
key
branch,
staff.
let's say.
Oh, you know, it's it's a gift from my mother.
He just he like blinks at you. He's like, what? Like that's the last thing he expected you to say. I'll say at this point, Ed, Basson, Chaplin, if you guys all want to like rouse and find your way downstairs, you certainly could.
Yeah, I imagine it would be there.
Cool.
So are we all cooperating this morning? What do we got for me?
It's told us a fair bit. I mean, honestly, you might better understand I don't know, the specifics of the artifice. I try to make sense of it, but I'm involved. I know better about the matters of arcane than construction.
Then, let's hear it then. What you build with my brother?
He goes, all right. And he starts taking like salt shakers and things around the table. And he says, I'm going to explain this one time more. So make sure you're listening. And he like puts this right here. He goes, this is the shield generator. This is the fucking piece of shit thing we've been working so hard to build, right? Now, before anything even began, Yvonne showed up with this. And he takes out like a salt shaker. And he goes, he built within a week or two in his private lab, showed up and said, I want the shield generator built around this thing. Didn't show us what's inside, didn't let us crack it open, nothing. Just said, make sure it works around this, and I'll deal with the rest. So we start doing that. We start integrating. Now, this is where things get weird. And then he takes out like 2 pepper shakers. And he says, he started building these other 2 things, which were also encased, and he didn't let us look inside. And he kept bringing them in and trying to attach them to the shield generator, insisting that they were important to the technology. And they would get in the way and wouldn't work. And then he'd take them back to his lab and work on them for another week, and so on and so forth. But there were these other 2 components that he just kept trying to remodel and remake. And he'd spend days and nights in his lab until he'd finally appear with a new prototype, trying to shove it into the shield generator that we'd built. And eventually it got working, but as Ethereth had said earlier, he guessed that there might be some secondary function to the shield generator that your brother was trying to make happen. I don't think that would be beyond what's possible.
And I'll be following him carefully when he does the diagram. And does Ed recognize like from just like a layman's look, like a layout of this, like what he's building here? And
Well, he's using salt and pepper shakers, so no. he's like clearly explaining it in like a very everyman kind of way.
Yeah. And what he had on him, is there any way you could describe it just a little bit more for me? What he brought with him?
He goes, no, I can't, because every time he came out with one of these components, they were encased in whatever, tin plates. It hid its interior, so we couldn't even guess what the point of them were. But he insisted that they were important to making the shield generator work. Often felt like they were actually making things harder on us. All I know is that they were built from tremendously exotic materials that I don't know if they had anything to do with conjuration. But Yvonne was the smartest guy in the room, so I didn't question it too much. And he was the guy who was in charge, so, no question the boss.
couldn't tell you what he was trying to make. Just this, but
He said a shield generator. He said these were important components to ensuring the shield generator worked. He would, no matter what we said, no matter how much energy fluctuations were coming out of it, that first component he showed up, he refused to modify it in any way. It was the first thing and the fastest thing he built.
You said he destroyed everything before he ran away. What exactly did he destroy? Did he destroy the shield generator or any of these external components? What did he leave with?
Everything, he burnt the whole fucking lab to the ground. There was a fire, and it looked like he had smashed things. He destroyed everything. It was months of work.
but you had proof forever.
But he took the schematics, so
He did take the schematics. Those were the we used crystals to store information with, and they were all gone. There was no sign of any of them being destroyed. His lab was emptied of his personal notes, so we can only guess that he took the schematics with him. That's why everyone's hunting him, because he's either taken them and hidden them or destroyed them off site, and he's the only one who knows how it all fits together now. Because I sure as shit don't know what was in those other three components, but he does. He's the only one who saw the entire picture. The rest of us only saw bits and pieces.
To some extent,
Oh,
it seems quite premeditated, Captain.
something our father always ingrained in us is build a counter to whatever it is you build. Sort of keeps checks and balance, keeps you hooked. I imagine here is Evan used this guise of building a shield generator to make fun to build what it is he actually wanted to make. What that is, I can't tell you until I see it, but it seems most possible.
Seems like he was using this team of researchers to finish whatever it was he wanted to try to build, and as soon as it was done to his satisfaction, destroyed everything and ran away.
Exactly. Moving the origin. It's anyone asks where this building began, you couldn't even start. And it's how everyone likes to keep
Yeah, the brothers were just snaking the grass, getting us all to work for him, leaving us out to dry.
I do apologize. But
Did you ever think, though, Baldock, that it might be for your benefit to keep you safe, to make sure that whatever it was he's come across,
Well, whatever his
you don't
intention was, it didn't quite work out, did it? I mean, look at all the shit I've been through because of him.
I wouldn't say it was necessary to keep him safe, but more to make sure that even if he was captured, that the knowledge that he has is, sorry for saying so, not useless, but incomplete.
Well, that's the same as safe.
I mean, to the Lith, it just means useless and disposable.
He did tell me to meet him at the Cosmic Wharf. Maybe he meant for us all to both run away together. Before I could even get close, things went batshit across Thessalos.
Well, speaking of the wharf, if we're all fed and awake and ready to go, we should hurry. I have a feeling the Lumina Collective and the Azure Guard will be keeping an eye out for us.
Yeah. Can I do a perception check to see if anybody is about watching us from any of these other groups?
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check. It's pretty empty right now.
I was in that 20 on, because I have advantage, so it was 27.
Very nice. I'm imagining you guys are like have kind of been up at like the ass crack of dawn, like for whatever reason. It's just like you got up pretty early. There's the bard on the stage, probably not listening. Their music probably a little louder to their ear than your conversation. They seem unfocused on you anyway.
In
Um,
fact, is Vivara with us?
I'll say Vivara sort of like saunters in. Nah, she's probably sleeping. I'll say she's still sleeping, probably, or she's not here anymore. But just to complete your assessment window, there's a couple of other people sitting here and there. The person who would have had the best ability to hear you would have been the bartender, but he's been coming and going, like stalking the bar. So you don't think he's been eavesdropping?
Okay. Sorry, just one question then. Is there anybody that looks like they might be watching us at that point? As in not just listening, but watching?
No, I don't think
No?
so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
If we're going out, I'm gonna roll my Rust bag of tricks for the day. Maybe
Oh,
that'll
that's okay.
garner us a little attention.
Hell yeah.
All right, here they come.
All right.
Oh, looks like we have an interesting group today. A giant goat, a giant boar, and wait. A lion.
That is an interesting
Ooh.
group.
Big boys.
Giant goat. Giant boar's huge. They're big. Could you imagine a boar is the size of a horse? Oh my god. No, thank you.
I don't know if I've ever had the giant boar before.
Yeah, them big fellas.
I don't think you have, no.
All right, they all appear and do their initial sort of and and they all just kind of stand around the people in the bar like, what the fuck? And scramble and kind of sit back down as your creatures kind of chill the hell out. Vivara wakes up the next morning or comes down the stairs kind of, you guys get up really early. I'm a witch of Hecate. We like the nights, the moon, and all that. So why are we up so early?
I'm trying to get things going.
Okay, fine. I've received my portents for the day. Let's proceed. Nice. Unless we're sleeping for 4 hours.
I feel like she has on a big oversized sweatshirt.
Yeah,
Like
she's
the
like,
boyfriend college sweatshirt.
yeah, she's like, if we must.
Captain, given that Baltic has given us a wealth of information, but ultimately it's incomplete, do we still need him?
Yes, for the simple reason that I don't want anyone else to have it. Not until we have Evan.
Oh, you said you were going to protect me, Empress.
Yes, but I'm also just pausing the question because you were pretty eager to leave. But if you feel safer with us, then by all means.
Just starts crumbling again.
Hey, he's got a, he's got a mind for building, and I wanna, when all this is over, maybe I could come through on that promise for a job, at least for a quick one.
No. No, thank you. I am done with yours.
Give or take a little. Let's do get moving soon though. One thing we need to keep in mind. Well, last I saw my brother, we made a pact to not be seen together ever again. I'm not sure how that's going to affect him. Granted, my father's untimely demise, I imagine, changed plans for me, but I don't know if it changed it for Evon, so another factor to consider. Might not want me visible up front. Might want me waiting by the ship. Truth be told, I don't have an order yet for the one because I wanted to run it by you all. Like now, you feel better with me there or me hidden?
I feel like it's best if he's there.
I think it's. I know that there may have been a pact, as you say, a pact for the two of you never to be seen together. I think current circumstances mean that pact should be broken, and hopefully, if your brother does see you, will be more inclined to join us rather than run.
Sure. In any case, I think we have as much information as we're going to get. Time's not on our side, so we're ready for this.
Okay. You guys will begin to make your way. I'm just gonna go. Yeah, we'll keep going. I just want to just. Okay. Let me get my name of my researcher here. Reveal. Okay, you guys make your way out into the entertainment district. There's one thing that is very immediately interesting upon sight, is that the sky is filled with ships, the same types of ships now, though. They are painted azure blue, and they seem to be making something of a blockade above the city. They're just sort of like floating there, traveling around, keeping an eye on things, keeping a very tight. Renville, you being like military, skilled military, you recognize this as like blockade patterns. They're doing like a very tight blockade formation of the city. You get the sense that since they closed the wharf yesterday, maybe a ship or two got by, and now they're really locking shit down. They really don't want Yvonne to go. Something has changed since yesterday, and they don't want to take any risks. This is a big military initiative.
I just passed that on to the group.
If we look up, is there any chance we could see the Prophet's Demise, or are they still like long gone on delivery?
They left on delivery yesterday, so you're not sure where they are. But no, you don't see them.
No tail ships in the sky. Damn.
Yeah. It does. You do see like ships, sort of like maybe like a ship does fly in, and then like two of them go on like receiving vectors, and like they're kind of like caught in a standstill at the sky, and then you see like another one that's like already been halfway down the rabbit trail of that, like the two ships veering, like sort of pulling back, and that ship turning around and flying away, and then those two ships returning to their circuit. So like ships are showing up and they're basically like, fuck off. And they're like, okay, buddy. Whatever you say. And they take off. So just to be clear, Renville, like this is I just need to put the gravity up there. This cuts off trade to Thessalos. That is like, even for a day, one day, that is a humongous expense to the city of Thessalos. The fact that they're doing that just for Ed's brother means he's it's big.
Okay. I'll pass all that information over and express the gravity of the situation with the ships. maybe there is something to think about now that we may have entered into an agreement with you guys. But again, we'll deal with that when the time comes.
Best time to keep our heads down. Let's stay focused on this one, crew. We'll worry about getting out of here once we have Evon.
Definitely.
All right. So where are we off to? The wharf. And the wharf.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
No, I'm fighting off intrusive thoughts right now.
Wait, don't do that. Why? What are you thinking about?
There's a lot of ships in the sky, and I happen to have probably the means to get on board of one of them. Cause a mess.
Yeah. Suddenly, Saeed's like in your face. He's like, "What are you thinking about?" I have a dragon.
I'm thinking a distraction might be helpful, and I couldn't think of anything more distracting than your own ships firing on each other.
Why are we waiting? I am tired of walking and talking and learning.
Because I can't think of a way to do it semi-stealthily.
Why must we do it stealthily?
Because they've seen our faces.
Fine.
Just let me think.
Fine. I'll just put it out there that Vivara, as usual, throw up the telepathic arm.
Actually, do I have shit?
Tell you what, as you're walking along, you make your way out of the entertainment district and towards the Lumina Agora. The place is quite busy. And you're going to see your old pal, Philocrates, the old philosopher fellow, see you all and kind of politely wave and begin to make his way over to you. And he will say, "Hello, my friends. It's good to see you. The city has become quite extreme as of late, has it not?"
You could probably put it mildly, yes.
Yes, a blockade. This craziness with the this earth genocide kind of run amok.
It's quite the manhunt, I've heard.
Well, do you have interest in accepting the bounty? Are you looking for him as well, then?
You could say that.
In the interest, and I pose this to your whole group because we've made such great discussion before. In the interest of, good debate, learning, and fun, so he goes, "What is it that you think is the best solution? Who do you think this researcher, who do you think would be best off to accept his knowledge? Is it in the hands of my own Lumina Collective? Is it in the hands of the Azure Guards, who originally perhaps ensured his work could complete?"
I think the chaos that has been wrought from him even building such technology is damaging enough, but ultimately, I think the right to choose who gets to wield that technology, at least the creator should be able to choose who they give it to, if anyone. And if it is given, then whatever happens is whatever happens after that. But that very first passing of knowledge is the right of the one who possesses it.
Very interesting. You think choice is most important here?
I think that autonomy and free will are the most important factors. The ability to choose.
If I may, I'd like to tell a story that perhaps might interest in a sort of counterpoint kind of way, and you can decide for yourself if it's convincing or not. But the Lumina Collective started the inspiration of a small group of philosophers who started it in legend. One of these was a great philosopher said to be the father of philosophy, known as Socrates. Now, Socrates, he was very faithful to his city. He believed in his city, even if he didn't agree with them always. Now, because he had started it, this philosophy, making people think deeply about their government and not being as complacent as a normal person would, he was accused of treason. And he was accused of trying to incite rebellion. Now, Socrates willingly went to prison. And so much so willingly that they just left the door to his cell open and he would not leave. And they would go to Socrates and say, Socrates, why? Why do you not flee? The door is open. You could run away anytime. Why not leave? And so much so that they sentenced him to death by poison. And still, he happily went to his sentence. And they said, why, Socrates? Just run. You are a great philosopher. The world needs you. Why not run? And he said, though I do not agree with the sentence that has been carried out against me, I have lived in this city and I trust in this city's government. If you live somewhere, then you are choosing to live there and choosing the people who run that city. And so it is more important to that a citizen should trust and abide by their government if they choose to live there. And so by living there and being a faithful member of the city, he willingly accepts his punishment out of faithfulness to the city that he chose. So this is the story I pose to you. Your friend, he doesn't know that. He says this person came to Thessalis. It sounds like developed technology for the government, and now is choosing to do something different. Would it not stand to reason that perhaps the government has some say in what should be done with this technology, considering he chose to come here, use their resources to build it, and now wishes to take autonomy of the invention?
I mean, they may have some right to it, having provided the resources, but ultimately, the hands that built it, the minds that brought the idea from a mere thought into reality, are his.
See. Like their points. Hephaestus creates for the gods, Hephaestus should decide what is done with these weapons. He looks around and says, are there counterpoints, or do you largely agree with your friends?
Well, I think the relevant point of your story was that Socrates continued to have a belief in his government, and even though had the opportunity to, he was given the government gave him the opportunity to turn away, to go out on his own, and he continued his faith. But it wasn't put upon him. It was a choice that he made. It was still a choice that the originator made. And in that case, I think that's, for me, that's how the story applies to Ivan, is that he clearly has made the choice not to continue siding with this particular government, even though he made the choice to come here in the first place. So I suppose the in this case, to go along with the analogy, it does not seem, and he kind of points up at the sky, that the government is still leaving the cell door open for Socrates to make his own decision about whether he wants to stay or go.
This is a fair point. So let me ask you then. Would you say that the behavior of this inventor is of good character?
I'm not. To run and hide is not exactly an indicator of good character, but is his character necessarily relevant in this particular moral quandary?
I suppose it is not. You are quite right. One must, in debates, understand when they have lost the points, and I thank you for bringing them back. So yes, I do not think it is part of it. So, you agree that this individual has chosen to abscond from their government, has chosen to leave behind their government, is not like Socrates, does not consider himself a faithful Thessalian, and has decided to abscond. So with that said, you think personal choice is most important. So, then let us think. What would be the most relevant choice for our person here if we were in his shoes?
I can only speculate that he wishes to take his creation and run, and not let anyone or anyone here on Thessalis know the details of how to make it or use it. But the government is preventing his escape. At the moment, you could say he is a prisoner on this planet. Yes, he's free to move wherever he wishes on the planet's surface, but he cannot leave.
So, not the government. Clearly, he does not wish to be with. I've heard that there's pirates. I imagine he doesn't have anything to do with them. So, I suppose his decisions, if we are being candid, would be, well, I hear there's mind flayers, and in fact, we'll come to that, but that is the reason why I actually came over here. So perhaps not mind flayers are best allies. So it leaves then the cult of Hecate being independent, or perhaps indeed my faction, the Lumina Collective, who wishes not to see me harmed, but brought in for the good of magical progress.
If it were me, in his shoes, I would choose those I could put the bulk of my faith in. And for some people, there is no one, only themselves. And perhaps that might be the case for this individual. For others, it might be family, friends, others of their faith, their church or temple or what have you. When your back is against the wall, the wisest course, or perhaps the only course, is to go to those who you think will, well, to those you trust to protect you and protect your interests. If there's been no one, if he's turned to none of the factions that are pursuing him, it will be because he does not trust them.
See. How would you suggest then? Let's say my faction, who wishes to, obviously I am in support them, so how would you advise me to advise the Lumina Collective to build this trust and faith with this individual from this most strange, afar relationship that we have formed? I'm sure the bounty hasn't helped, but I'm not in the decision of everything the collective does.
Trust is difficult to build and very easy to break. And the bounty that's been posted may have burned that bridge entirely.
Could it not be said that the bounty has sought for a great sum, his capture indeed, but for his capture and not his life?
Mm.
Is there not reason to say that this is a more kinder way than perhaps other factions are seeking him?
Maybe so, but that's assuming that he considers his own life worth more than his creation. I kind of look to Ed then. I imagine there might be some cases of a craftsman that they would value their creations above their own life, and threat of capture is more frightening than simply death. For if they die, their creation dies with them.
That just kind of adds to himself. He's kind of like over the moral quandary of it all. He just wants to handle.
I see. Well then, it has been fun debating with you, but let us indeed come to it. I come to you now because I know you all capable and wise, and would like to indulge in your seeking of the bounty posed for this individual. And should you succeed, we would be willing to. It's not an offer we've made to everyone, but we would also like to welcome you to the Lumina Collective and perhaps gain knowledge from our stores. We have a great deal of knowledge, magic. If you were to help us seek out this individual for, again, the good of magical progress, so that's what we care for, we'd be willing to offer you more than just coin, but knowledge as well, if that is to your interest. And lastly, before we continue, I was wondering, I was told a funny story by a fellow named Evios, who belongs to our collective, that you all rescued him. Is that so?
He happened to be captured by some Illithids that we dispatched. So, by by the will of fate, we happened to rescue him, yes.
He implied, he complained a bit about the situation, but I think those of us of more senior minds understand that he was rescued, and the Lumina Collective owes you great things, which is why I make this offer. And more still, I would offer you, I suppose, or ask of you assistance. You see, one of our researchers, who is sort of, how do I put this, trying to figure out the technology that was being made by this individual, the shield creation technology, he's disappeared, or at least he's stopped communicating with us, and people we've sent to his his home have not returned. This has been since yesterday. We fear danger has befallen him, and with so many dangers going on in the city right now, we figured maybe hiring someone capable. I understand you probably have a lot on your plate, but if you were willing, the Luminate Collective would be appreciative to pay you for your services. If you would go and ensure the safety of our researcher.
Well, as you say, there's a lot on our plate right now. And the matter of the bounty, it's a family matter.
Ah, I see. It takes priority. I understand. There are other mercenaries I felt comfortable coming to you more than anyone else to understand. Allow me to take no more of your time, but should you reconsider or wish to speak more, I remain here at the Lumina Agora. So, have a wonderful day, and may Athena's wisdom guide your steps.
I kind of like I engaged telepathic link. Sorry if I jumped, sort of spoke too broadly for the whole crew, but I get the sense that it truly is sort of us against everyone else right now.
No need to apologize, Ethrith. You spoke well for us all.
I have a suggestion, one that poses significant risk, but might yield something unexpectedly positive, and I want your view on it. The ships above, between my wings and my ability to teleport, I could probably board one of them. And one well placed laser shot could set the sky into chaos. They're likely scanning both the skies and the ground in search of Yvonne, and a distraction of that magnitude might be something we could use to ensure that we get Yvonne into our custody before they can. Or maybe even provide an opening for him to escape.
I agree with the diversion part. Although I fear with our ship not here, how do we all leave? Without commandeering another one and creating more havoc? It is a good idea, but how do we get off the ground?
So he goes, dragon.
Your dragon is capable of carrying us all in one
No,
go.
no, only like me and one other person.
Then that doesn't really serve the right purpose.
No, it doesn't.
Although it was a good idea. Well done, Si.
I'll keep the idea up my sleeve, and if things, when we're closer to the wharf, and without the ship it's difficult, but it may not be necessary for us to escape, but at least to keep the Azure Guard occupied.
Oh yeah, I would imagine if Andok and Evon were going to meet at the Cosmic Wharf, there isn't a ship ready there. Now, that's again taking a chance on more chance, so it's not the best idea, but logically, there has to be something to get away. And after if time comes, that would a louder exit is going to be more viable than a quiet one. It goes to once this starts, it won't end until we're out of here. It's gonna start everything. But our best factor here is that everyone up there, down here, is looking for Adbon. And they're not gonna help each other out. Once one shot is fired, they might not stop. So I do think we'll need some chaos, but in any case, you go find Evon, and we can get this started.
You know what else would be a funny distraction? If we disguised somebody, maybe me, as Yvonne, if everybody knows who and what they're looking for, we could let our fake Yvonne be captured while we shuttle the real Yvonne off in another direction.
I'm capable of altering my appearance, I could very easily look like, well, I could pull off a Captain Ed George, I imagine.
Oh, sure there's a lovely origin story to that confidence, but in any case, I like that idea as well. I think if we can swap, change, get us all out, we have different corners, we've got a ship that we can get word to that. That's even better.
I was thinking, do you remember that CD potion salesman? What do you what do you reckon the odds are that he has in his possession some?
I have one more. I bought two.
But do they turn you into an Earth Genasi?
They turn you into a beautiful human man.
For a minute, though.
Right here looks like a great performance. Not fair.
If you want something longer lasting,
that might have just be our best bet. And the fact that this is our best bet is making me question life at this moment, but I think you are 100% right. This potion can change Evon.
Saeed says, we could just go ask if we can make us something special.
Yeah, I truly think that could work. I bought two of those because it was supposed to be like giving them. The whole thing was to give them to Basan. She never even heard of it.
The ones we have are like very short-lived, temporary, like 1 minute long ones. We're talking something that can disguise him for a long time.
Long time.
I have disguise. I mean, I could disguise myself as an Earth Genasi for up to an hour.
Yeah, I can do that as well. I think we're wanting to disguise Ivan, which would mean giving him a potion.
Yeah.
The Laura says, if we're looking for a specialty potion, we saw that Callistra, she is perhaps the most skilled potion brewer in maybe Thessalos.
I mean, we can also just make Yvonne invisible.
We could, but then he wouldn't. I mean, that would make walking around freely a little strange, talking to the air.
Saeed says, or we could go to the wharf and pick a random ship and destroy it with dragon fire. And then they will all come running to see what had happened. And then we go and do whatever else we wanted to do today while they're distracted.
Well, that's a suggestion.
It is.
Not the fire part, but I mean,
What's wrong with dragon fire?
Pilot one Spelljammer. I can pilot.
I take out my sending stone.
Okay. What do you say?
Sister, I'm told that you know your way around alchemy. Do you have any potions that could alter one's appearance, change their species?
Change theirs where it ends, yeah.
Yeah. I forgot about the 25 word limit.
It's all good.
Yeah. I've been sending a long time.
It's all good. There's a flash of black smoke and then moonlight. She's there standing before you. And she says, it's weird to call you brother, but I suppose I will, to make sense. You want potions for sale? You're sure you're not looking for something that's a shady merchant at the Revelite district would make you? Or are you looking for something that I make?
Well, the shady one has something that is only 1 minute hits, as perhaps he would put it.
Yes.
We need something properly brewed, long lasting.
You're looking for something that can change your appearance? I can make something basic. Something, yes, that can perhaps alter your shape. How long do you want this to work for?
Long enough that we can, maybe an hour or two, maybe a bit longer, just long enough that once we have Evan, we can move him somewhere secluded out of the way.
Or you could do that, or I could offer you a more fun option. She takes from her pocket a small vial with a clear liquid with a flecks with swirling silver. Excuse me. She says, "This is the memory bane poison. Now, if you were to secure yourself a blow dart gun, you could just wander your way wherever you want, making sure that whoever happens to be nearby is hit with this, and they'll completely forget the last 10 minutes of memory. It'll be like you were never there, like a ghost. But of course, I can just make basic disguise potions if you want to be boring."
I mean, as entertaining as knocking out people is,
Ooh, or
we
better
need to.
yet, what about my phantom boom elixir? You have to get at least a little drunk for it to work properly, but once you do, you become corporeal. Like a ghost. Truly like a ghost. But alcohol's a key component, so you'll have to be just like a little on the outside. But it's a very fun potion.
Sister, I'm a great fan of brewing potions as well, but I'm trying to keep this man alive.
So keep him alive and not stressed with alcohol.
There's dozens of ships in the sky, and the Azure Guard are watching like hawks. If I can get him to be able to move through the city freely, that's enough for me.
Fine. I'll make you a boring disguise potion. When do you need it by?
I mean, as soon as possible. Better yet, if you have any on hand.
No, I don't keep anything boring on hand, only fun things. And she sort of puts her hands on her hips, just like, anything else? Or did you just call me here to do rudimentary herbalism?
I like a glass of the rental.
Oh, was there something that you wanted? A rendering?
There's most probably a few things that I wanted. Maybe now's not the time, but I'm okay for now. Thank you, though. I hope you enjoyed last night.
You're weird. That's okay. I'm going now. This has not been nearly as fun as I thought it would be out here. And she kind of waves at you. Sort of like, hi. It's you, Arinda. And we'll sort of grumble about making stupid potions and vanish. And she will go try and make something to your satisfaction.
Well, that's one plan underway, but always pays to have multiple backups. Particularly when it comes to us, I feel as if we tend to invite the unexpected.
What is this? Uh, suppose trying to cover this almost too fruitful of planning, too almost privileged, but I worry about our crew. They'll have no idea that Prophet's demise may suddenly become the most sought after ship in the entire atmosphere. So any way we can communicate with them, that would be.
Well, they're just running a delivery, so, and even if they are accosted, they don't know anything about what we're doing. So, with any luck, they'll be left alone. It may be a little roughed up at worst, but they can handle themselves, I think.
Thank
Saeed says, "Can we go to the wharf? I want to potentially kill something. Maybe
Yes,
today if I'm lucky."
We can go to the wharf.
Yay. And I think the dwarf, where is what name is? Baldic says, "We're actually going to the wharf? It's dangerous." Saeed's like, "That's the point, dwarf." Is that where you guys want to go?
Yeah.
Make your way to the Cosmic Wharf. It is busy up here, and there's a tension of unhappiness, very, very plain and clear. People are kind of pissed off. There's a lot of like yelling and shouting, people talking to one another, and sort of like gesturing exaggeratedly with like anxious, maybe even anger at this shutdown. Many traders have been stopped from being able to go make their coin and travel. Every time they sit on this dock is more money they're losing to their crews. People, and important people too, captains, are unhappy. And there's a lot of conversation going around. You see mercenaries are all over the wharf. People are talking. It's a very stressful environment. Boldic says, "If you want to go, all right, fine, just follow me if you want to know where we're supposed to go. Just don't let me get kidnapped again or something."
Our eyes are peeled.
Great. So great. And you guys will fly. Which of these were the one? There we go. You make your way down the wharf, and you're gonna get to here, and he's gonna point at the very large space galleon down the way. And he says, "That's the ship they're supposed to meet. All right? Seems to still be here. Looks to be intact and empty. There."
Well, shall I take a look around, Captain?
Does it look intact and empty like he's?
Does it look intact? Make a perception check.
Yeah. Oh, nice. That's 19 plus 4, 23.
23. The ship looks in good repair.
And like, it's empty, like you said. Like, is it matching his description?
I mean, you can't see inside. If you don't have X-ray vision, you can't see inside of the holds and such. But like all the whatever they're called, the places where the cannons come out or the ballistas or whatever weaponry would come out, they're all sealed and closed. The sails are up. It looks to be in port. Nobody seems to be walking across the deck or anything.
Yeah, that's what like on the deck.
Yeah. Vivara says, "I can try and divine if someone is within, if you wish."
Well, I can't say I'm not getting a slight instinctive premonition of potential danger. I just cast Wish on myself.
The music changed, so I'm feeling weird.
I'm feeling a little bit concerned. Suddenly, something's different.
There's a bard on the side, like playing some.
Fucking cellos out.
Go ahead, Chaplain. Needed.
Yeah, everything's feeling a little, I don't know, constricted and tight and serious. And there's the ships above, and we're not really sure what to do. And there's a lot of discussions. So I have my hand in my pocket, and I can feel my deck of many things. And I think I'm going to pull one.
Oh no!
Oh God!
Yeah, you're gonna pull him in the deck. Yeah,
Oh
let's go,
Jesus!
baby.
All right,
Oh,
let's do it.
fuck yeah!
Holy
Do it.
cow.
How many are you pulling? How many are you pulling?
One card.
Okay. I'll get you to see one thing. Okay,
All right.
whip it out, baby. Let's see what it is.
Yeah. I forget. What do I roll?
I'm letting you know right now. Here we go. And oh, it's really not gonna tell me. Let's see here.
I had the full deck, and we've used one.
Used one. Oh, how best to handle this? Okay, I want you to roll. Just roll me. Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's do it this way because it's a weird number. Roll me even odds to start.
Evens odds, sure. 5 odd.
Okay. 5 is odd. Okay, got it. Roll me a d12.
A d12. Okay.
D12.
9.
Okay. 9. Okay. That's pretty high up there, my friend. Okay. You pull out a card with this is the second time that you've used the deck of many things. I have not been in my usual place because I have a deck. Let's see. Pull a card. I just want to tell you what the card looks like. You pull out this. This is a really good one. You pull out this card where it has this. It almost looks like a burglar who's got like a giant sack on his back and a long pointed hat, and he's kind of like creeping along with his bag and his hat over his eyes, and he's like holding a key, and it says "Fool" underneath.
It says "Fool."
It says "Fool." So in this moment, as you are looking at the Fool, I'll tell you what is going to happen. Da, 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 da. Oh no, bro. You look at the card and you see suddenly it almost animates, like the guy's like begins to creep, and he like looks outside the card, and suddenly his hand reaches out at you and like grabs your chest and like pulls something from you, and you're like, ah, and the card like disintegrates. You've lost a level.
Okay.
Oh. Wow.
Oh, you should draw another one to see if you can get it back.
Well, I think that doesn't that come along with that card? Don't I draw another one?
Ooh, does it really?
I think so.
Use 2,000 cards, discard this card, draw from the deck again. Yeah, you do. So as he does so, and like takes from you, the card sort of fizzles out, and I'll say as the card fizzles out, that sort of creeping hand like comes up from the border of the fizzling away card and like goes to like shoots at the deck and draws one for you and points it at you. Okay, this time, this is so fun. I'm so happy. Roll me another even odds.
Yep. And so I guess when the Fool comes out and first takes whatever he took and then draws a card, Chaplain's like, hey,
Yeah, hey, as he like,
That one was 1, so odds.
okay, just roll me a d20. Yeah.
1.
Okay, what do we got? Okay. I'm gonna tell you what it looks like. You pull a card of a woman, sort of all gray, and she's holding in the middle of her hand a set of scales that are perfectly balanced. And at the bottom, it does say balance.
Okay.
Your mind suffers a wrenching alteration. What is your current alignment?
Neutral good. Oh no, it would be neutral chaotic. I'm sorry.
Neutral chaotic?
Out
You
of
are
control.
now neutral. You're now lawful neutral.
Yeah.
You suddenly feel like strictly adherent to like codes, whether that's
Suddenly the
honor.
world needs rules.
The world needs rules, whether that's to the law itself, to your god's dogma. Um, the world needs rules, and you're going to follow them.
Right. You can't just go around taking people's stuff and pulling cards off the. Come on, get it together.
And the card fizzles out as you feel your alignments. I'll say it like if you're into it, Chaplain, for fun, because your entire autonome body is like it's like brass and gold plated, right?
Yeah.
So let's say that like it just color swaps. So your brass plates become gold, your gold plates become brass, and you just kind of have this like color swap into like the negative essentially.
All right. Fair enough. All right, and lose 1 level. Okay.
And lose a level and become lawful neutral. That's your
And become lawful for Chaplain. That's
Oh no!
I know.
What has happened to this?
I know this is going to be something special.
It may explain the loss of level too, right? Like Fool's Gold's all about, or Glitter Gold's all about like chaos
Right.
and jokes, and I gotta say, bud, are you not good? Were you not chaotic good? Because you've been doing a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, it's hard.
I think it's because
Maybe chaotic good, right?
no, hold on. If I may, we went past that ship of autonomes that we did not intercede with, and you bumped us all down because Bisan was also
Yeah,
good and got
yeah.
bumped down to neutral because of that. So everybody took an
Yeah.
alignment hit.
You left the ship to be destroyed. Yeah.
half of me, I was already evil.
Yeah. Okay, that is true. So that makes sense why you're there. So yeah. Okay, you are now lawful neutral, Chaplain.
And when
All
we got taken in by the prophet, Chaplain was like, "Yeah, sure. I mean, you guys are cool. I guess I can hang out here."
Right.
That is true.
That's
That is
true.
very
Yeah.
neutral of you. Yeah. Okay, cool. Just wanted to be sure. Okay, fantastic. You are now lawful neutral. And as what? So, Chaplain, as you suddenly feel this like deep, ingrained need and desire to follow the rules, whatever those rules may be, whether that's a personal code or the code of your friends or the law itself, you feel the strict need to have some lawful guidance. What happens? What do you do?
Right. Well, I can tell you this right now. I'm not going to be a part of anything that involves trying to cause a bunch of the guarding ships there that are just trying to maintain peace and order to be firing on each other or anything like that. And I'm certainly not going to be a part of trying to smuggle a wanted person off of this planet.
Chaplain.
I'm sorry, Chaplain, would you like to repeat all of that? It sounded like you'd just gone crazy.
I mean, it
This-
sounds like the right thing to do is to find Ed's brother and to turn him over to the lawfully appointed and elected officials.
I thought like bends down, grabs Chaplain by the side, like,
Is he joking?
pull yourself together, little gnome. This isn't what your god would want.
Now that I think
Is
about
that
it,
is that blasphemy
I think it may be on
for
the
Chaplain?
gold side, but yes.
You love
Misan is
chaos.
stunned.
You even summon goats all the time and try to set them loose.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, absolutely. Those have got to go. They can't be just wandering around the city. They could endanger somebody. And so he dismisses the.
yeah, you look over and perhaps a horde chaplain. You see this one goat is like eating this man's newspaper, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Hey, stop it!" And you're like, "I am so sorry," and just like diminish them.
What? I don't know what to do, Captain.
Chaplain is Chaplain sick? She's gonna look at Arundel. Does he need a tonic or a laying on of hands? Kind of. Can you fix him?
I'm
No.
not sure. Maybe a reset might be in order, but
Look at the dwarf.
I'm
It's
not,
like, what are you looking at me for?
I've never wanted to get into, Chaplin's inner bits, but if we have to, the first time for everything, you might need a serious reboot, friend.
You know technology.
What, you gonna kill him?
No, it's just you don't understand. He was built for trickery, pranks, chaos. He doesn't follow rules. He's built to break rules. It's like his.
Like if you were cooperative.
Hey, I find that mildly offensive. Anyone can be anyone they want to be.
It's all just so sudden. Like, he just
Also, because you're a dragonborn, you're supposed to, hoard wealth and breathe ice all over people. Is that it?
That's exactly what I do.
Oh, maybe that was a bad example. He looks at Saeed. He goes, "Okay, how about you? Just because you're like a Gith alien, you're supposed to what? Go slay other aliens and come down and scare people and drag them back?
He does that.
Yes. What? He looks around. He looks at Arindel and sees that he's the soul of noble elven warriorship. He's like, He looks at Basan, who is like the ultimate like a Sarai warrior. He looks over to and he goes, He goes, so you. So just because your skin's rocks, does that mean you have to stay on the planet side?
We need to figure this out.
Well, you all can figure out whatever you think that you need to. For right now, I'm going to do as was suggested by the proper authorities, and I'm going to go back to the inn and shelter in place until this all blows over.
Nice cool pint. As the wharf erupts into sheer chaos, as Chaplin's behavior is dramatically swapped, Chaplin, content with his new philosophy, wanders away. And none of you with any concept of alignment, or at least its relevance in this game, are stunned. And that is where we'll end the session. As this means this is going to be interesting, Chaplin. this is you, buddy. For the next bit.
Folks just have to mourn the death of Chaplain Fool's Gold.
I know.
I'm not dead.
Now he's Chaplain Lawful Silver or something.
Yeah, but for real, that's probably going to cause problems with
He's Chaplain
God.
Fool's Gold now.
after a little while.
Yeah, I know.
Chaplain Wise Tree.
Chaplain Wrought Iron.
Yeah,
I start thinking about a new deity. There you go. Rules gold. I like that. Yes, very good.
I feel like there's a spell
That's funny.
that can fix this shit.
I don't know, man. Hey, who's got wish?
Ceremony should do it.
Ceremony? No, that's true. Ceremony could do it.
Will restore
Yeah.
alignment.
Yeah, that's
right,
fair.
on this note, I will be away for the next 2 weeks, so we have some time to figure it out.
Good
Nice.
explanation for your leaving. Oh, so you were just gonna draw some cards and dip. That was your plan. That's awesome. That's so funny.
In true chaotic fashion.
Yes.
Yeah. Literally draws a card from deck of many things and just like peeks, disappears for the next 2 sessions.
Mic drops.
Mic drops, exactly. Draws all 22 cards and leaves.
Yeah. I can do ceremony, so when he comes back, we'll get him back.
As long as you can make him do the ceremony.
Does he have to be willing? We'll see.
Well, it's an hour-long ceremony. Yeah. I mean, you can like do the sort of exorcist style, like tie him to a table.
That's the plan. Definitely. It's just gonna keep him.
Catch you all next week, gang.
Later, Ed.
Bye. See you later.
Bye.
Have a good night, everybody. Take care.
See you all.